charges like cocaine possession or something like that, we will no doubt have more room for more serious criminals, capital criminals. So I think releasing low-level drug offenders in a staged, methodical manner is the best way to go. Buck only in your dreams in front of the mirror with your tutu on and whatever other fetish you're engaged in.
Well, I have no idea what any of that is, Rodney.
I don't do cocaine. I'm not a crackhead. I don't do meth. I don't do anything like that. I do math, though. I do 1 + 1 = 2. Reality checks like that are really good to do, but don't do meth. We all do math.
I love math.
Sarah loves math.
I think that only a few people love math.
I'm not going to do anything that'll stress my body out. I plan on living to be, well, forever. I'm an immortalist. I want to live to be whatever. And hopefully I'll make it to whatever. I don't really want to end this wonderful life. I just am having such a good time. So I can't shock my heart with the ALS challenge. Ice bucket on my head would be really, really hard on my body. And it would shock me. It would take me away from my happy, feel-good presence that I live in. It's a stress-free, low-risk lifestyle. Low impact, too.
A hot shower right afterwards.
You can take a hot shower right now?
No, I'm saying after your ice bucket challenge.
Oh, and I don't know. That's not good to do any of that. It's just dangerous to stress the body like that. People don't realize it. I live in a stress-free environment. I just took some CoQ10 today. You know CoQ10?
Oh, yeah.
I took some vitamin D3 because we're low in Northwest Pacific because we're all so pale. Look at me. I look like a zombie.
I know,
look at the color. Let me change the color on that screen over there if you don't mind.
You want me to do it?
Well, there's a couple ways of doing it. I want to do it this way first.
You want me to show you what it is over here?
Yeah. Well, if you want to tell me the settings, that would be even more ideal. Okay, you're right. Okay, let's go to camera, configure, video input. We're going to get your settings. David, ISIS is coming to a town near us. At least that's what they say. Well, we're going to terminate ISIS with surgical strikes. We talked about that, Mad Dog.
As soon as I did that,
I just asked Sarah if she wanted to take a hot shower. Yeah, I just thought, wow, this is very impromptu, very spur of the moment. Why not? We could take the camera in. We could shoot our faces, getting the water over it. You know, actually, I did a video like that with myself.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm high on exposure, low on gain.
High on exposure, low on gain. Okay, that's about there, yeah. Well, that does it for that camera, but not this one.
And my contrast is farther down.
Wow. There we go. Color intensity, I thought was, yeah, there we go. A little more pinkness to my face. There's some shadow. No, that's good.
Intensity than contrast.
Look at the pinkness factor. See where I'm at? I look Caucasian right here. I look very Caucasian.
Oh, and look, white balance is way over here.
Oh, okay. There you go. Ooh, see, it doesn't work on this camera. Every camera is different. Let's assume that. Hit auto on that. Go ahead and hit auto. Okay. Yeah. For some reason, I'm getting a little like. The contrast maybe is too high. Let's maybe raise the contrast. No, I think it's okay. Sarah, is there a pic of the David in that heart?
Wait.
You'd like it 6'4". I would fall asleep and you would fall in love. Pamela Anderson. Are we going to end up going to the yogurt shop tonight? No, Pamela. No need to worry about that. Everything's good. We had that experience last night because of a bottleneck in our system, and I have a really simple fix for it in case you guys might have a problem with your modem and your router. I got myself a neodymium magnet. Now, you can get these online, but they're real powerful. A neodymium magnet will put right up against that little cable, and you pull your cable line out of your modem, and you just put it right up there, and it clears it completely. You'll get rid of all that electromagnetic interference. And it's working on a subatomic level. Dear gay boys, no, Dodo, I will not do that. ISIS is Israel, dude. Yeah, I know, Power J. We're fully aware of ISIS's work with the CIA in Israel. Thank you. This is coming from Al Jazeera. Israel passes the ultra-Orthodox draft law. We'll take a look at that in just a bit. Thanks, Power J. Can you do a gay George Bush? Okay. People die. Fighting for democracy. Laura and I never did that. How's that? Because that's the only line that I ever heard George W. Bush say that was absolutely epic. People die fighting for democracy. You know, I mean, how could anyone possibly... You're offended? I'm sorry, Hill Hill. If you're gay or watching this show, we do support your rights to not be discriminated in the workplace. I'm supporting an equal rights amendment that I'm creating in my mind. I'm sorry, Hill Hill. I'm very sorry if you're gay. And are you also Republican? It's all good? Oh, okay, good. Are you former Republican and gay? I am the voice of reason. Dave, I can't hear you. What's going on with our mic? What's wrong? William, there's something wrong with your audio. Let me do this whole thing in sign language so that you can understand what I'm saying. If you have a problem understanding what I'm saying, I want all of you to be able to read the words in my comments. I'll be signing for anybody who has a hearing disorder at any time. In my mind, I'm creating a sequoia with, whoa, dodo, yeah. Just look down in the middle of your pants, and there you go, buddy. You're ready to go. You're ready for Friday night. Jews control Hollywood, lobbies in the UK. No doubt if Israel had so much power, they would have a bigger empire with no other flags but the Zionist one. Christian jihad. I thought Christians are supposed to support Israel. Weren't they going to be the promised land, the New Jerusalem? Why are you being so angry at Israel? I'm not getting it. I got that. I don't need to go to your Bomb Live channel. This is supposed to be the Nazi. He seems to be siding with all the Muslims now. Isn't that interesting how Nazis are siding with Muslims?
Weird.
They both hate Israel. I just lost your vote. I'm sorry, Hill Hill. What did I say exactly? Something about Nazis, Jews, or homosexuals? What are you offended most by?
Yeah.
Just kidding. Okay.
Okay.
KY did not. Okay. Rodney, only you know about that. That's between you and your proctologist, so please don't bring that up in the conversation. You know, and I almost think we could be a little bit brighter over here.
I like myself like this.
You like that super tan look?
Yeah.
You can hang out?
Exactly. I look like I have a super tan.
Well, you've got brighter teeth than I do, so I can't really just see my teeth. They're all yellow. My teeth are tanning. It's amazing.
Okay, go ahead. And
no, don't worry about it. It's okay. It's just, you know, when we look at this 100 years from now, Sarah, with our bodies hooked up to machines, and I'll be saying, boy, look at how young I was. I was only 54 there. And now I'm 172 years old and looking at myself in memory. I don't have sexual relations with that. Thank you. It's coffee, Mad Dog. 100% Colombian.
What are we going to remember to do on Monday?
I believe we got a couple people on the ban switch right now. Topper Dan's been banned. A couple people. We haven't unbanned Dolph in a while, and we're trying to keep Topper Dan out of here because he's keeping.
I forgot what I'm supposed to remember to do on Monday.
You forgot what you were supposed to remember to do.
Yeah,
that's very fun.
So.
You look lovely tonight.
Thank you.
That's a lovely necklace.
Thank you.
Silver. It reminds me of well, it's a heart. That's for sure.
Oh, I need to enable guest chat on Monday.
You need to enable guest chat on Monday. What if we will do that tonight too? Do we have any guest chat?
Well,
Unban Hoppy.
Our guest chat is enabled right now.
I don't want to be an enabler for guest chat. I feel we should go to Al-Anon or something and try to deal with our issues. Oh, James Anderson, your name's John Bryson. Thank you. Excellent. All right, thank you, Christian Jihad. But I'm wondering why you turned a blind eye to Israel. I thought all Christians supported Israel. I'm confused. Maybe you could explain why you've given up any hope that they're the New Jerusalem. All right.
Happy birthday to you.
Let's all sit and fantasize about other people in the chat room.
Birthday to you.
Who should I fantasize about in the chat room?
Happy birthday, dear Mad Dog, but I don't really think it's Mad Dog because you have capital letters in your name. Happy birthday to
you. Happy birthday, Mad Dog. Borders open, African nations tightened, Ebola travel bans. We'd like to do all of that. We'd like to close the borders, prevent Africans. Did I say African Americans? Sorry. Prevent Africans from coming over here with oozing orifices with blood in their body. Ebola is a serious problem. And then African Americans should all be informed about the dangers of AIDS, because they are the highest incidence of AIDS transfer in the country. I'm not trying to scare anybody. I'm just telling you these are the facts. You can go to CDC.com and find that out. That nearly 45% of all African Americans 25 to 50 have AIDS. Oh.
Just been to the machine.
I think we're getting a call. Go ahead and pick it up.
Yeah, I didn't tell Rodney.
You'll be 36. I'll be darned, Mad Dog. Israel uses too much of our money. I agree with that. 30 billion. I heard that Obama just approved a $70 billion payout.
I think I got it too late.
Try again, Rodney. Obama just approved a $70 billion payout to Israel.
Oh, it is a real Mad Dog. Wait, what?
That's right.
Well, a $70 billion, not payout per se, but
Winchell loves Israel.
Loan guarantee, which is a little bit different than a payout.
You're right, but we did give them another $225 million for that missile defense system on top of it.
Okay, Stifler.
I know it's old news, but it's something you need to think about, William, because we got somebody who's concerned about it right now. Are you going to publicly debate Von Helton? No, I'm not. Go ahead, Carl. I keep calling you Carl. It's me, awesome Carl.
He'd be mad about that. Sorry.
Go ahead, Rodney. You remind me a lot about Carl. Go ahead.
That's just offensive.
Sorry, it's a joke, man. It was just designed to just open the conversation with a low blow to you. You can hit me with whatever target you want. Go ahead.
Give it as good as you can get a discount.
Give it.
Get down to business here, man. I don't know if you catch Chuck Hagel's press conference yesterday.
I missed it, buddy. What's his newest approach? Give more money to Israel?
Oh.
He really didn't focus on that, but he basically is resigned to the fact that ISIS is in America, and that due to a quote-unquote porous border and immigration policy,
okay,
that daily more and more of them are coming into America.
Oh, okay.
Gotcha. Which, are American citizens that went over to Syria to train. And,
oh, yeah. They've already embedded their own terrorists in our own country, and he's announcing it. I see ISIS's connections all over the place to our own training camps in Jordan, a CIA training camp. So I'm a little concerned that they're orchestrating a takedown of our country, everyone, making us fear terrorism that justifies war. I'm getting the whole picture.
Uncle Barry was a real black guy. He'd be over in Syria chopping off one of their heads on TV. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm getting. I'm getting he's a Muslim president. No question about it, Rodney. I agree.
He's just running cover for those terrorist scumbags. We're going to line him up with the rest of them discounted.
I hear you. We're going to have a day of reckoning, and it's coming soon, because these people have been living under the radar. And the Marxists have literally embedded themselves with the Muslims, and they are living in the White House now. It's unreal.
You're welcome, America. I want to thank all the pussies and homos in America for voting for this fake black guy terrorist.
A lot of people really do have white guilt going for you. My first thought is white guilt got this guy elected to 2 terms. Are we going to overcome this white guilt and get on to the real issue of protecting our nation? I agree.
Hey, what is white guilt anyways? I mean, does anybody who owns a cotton farm or plantation anymore? Because I don't.
None of my family members ever enslaved anybody. I can guarantee that. It's just crazy. I don't understand why people feel like we have to swing all the way over to the left now that we were with George W. Bush. Now we swing all the way over to the Marxists like Barack Obama. And when are we going to go back to the center and get some solid reality checks going on across the nation? I'm not going to do the ALS Spice Bucket Challenge. Sorry, Lenny. I don't do things
that... The ALS Ice Bucket Challenge is so fucking lame, Dave. I mean, people that do it are just get broke to fucking make a donation.
I know, and it's ALS. They should have cured it by now. They make lots of money in the healthcare industry, Rodney. Why aren't you in the healthcare industry? You seem like a guy who'd want to be a real profiteer, make a lot of money. I mean, what?
It's kind of, how do you know that I'm not, brother?
Oh, I didn't know there. Oh, sorry. I almost blew your cover as a psychiatrist.
Well, how are you feeling today, Mr. Rodney? Have you have enough of the designer meds? Anyway, we have a lot of problems with our country falling apart with Muslims taking over, literally. I agree. We'll set this straight.
Again, I've said this before, Dave.
Yeah.
I implore Muslims worldwide to be begin policing their own,
Yeah,
or they will in fact suffer the same fate
I hear you.
as
Well,
the bad ones.
they're going the wrong direction by allowing them to Major Hassan to practice his religion right there in the military. I understand they've got mullahs that the government pays for to sit there on Sundays and face north and self-flagellate with the worker. You know, some of our soldiers are Muslim. I don't understand why we're paying for that. Why don't they just volunteer their time as a mullah? You know, I mean, really.
Well, I mean, you know, if they were, true believers and doing it for the right reasons, they would be donating that time, Dave.
Exactly, and that's the kind of world I'm seeing in the future. I see that as the future of the American military. No longer will we pay chaplains or priests or mullahs or whatever they call them, those people. I don't really care at this point. I need to get our country.
You know what I call them? I call them blood-sucking scumbags.
There you go, blood-sucking scumbags. Right on, man. Thank you.
Bitches.
Wonderful. This guy's poetic.
Take care, Discount. I'll check back with you later, brother.
You too, buddy. Take care. All right, later.
Well, I hope my testicles descend far enough to get that voice.
Yeah, I hear you, buddy.
All right, we got word from the Rodney that Muslims are taking over our presidency and leading our foreign policy, and it does seem like that when Chuck Hagel runs his mouth off that ISIS is let into our border. Well, who let people into our border? Barack Obama and all those other than Mexicans and those 52,000 little children with contagious diseases. And now Ebola. And when's it going to stop? Time, yeah, go ahead and have a drink. It's Friday night, Mad Dog. It's your birthday, for crying out loud. Happy birthday. It is his birthday?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Tomorrow is your birthday. Yeah, it's just
So
unbelievable.
live it up. Start partying right now.
So a lot of you people who are still suffering from white guilt, I want you to put that out of your head, okay? We're not here to pay reparations to families or descendants of slaves. We're not here to put them in the presidency and make that the priority over the policy and the issues. That Obama seems to be using the black shield, the shield of blackness, as I call it, to evade questions on Benghazi, our policy with Iraq, which he's been all over the place on, our policy with Syria, which is he basically wants to support Muslims, rebels, Al-Qaeda in Syria and take down a Christian-ruled government of Bashar al-Assad. It's just crazy. I'm only 70 years old. No, Lenny, no, I'm not. I'm younger than you think. I was told last night that the harsh camera of the yogurt place really aged me. So hopefully the filters are on, taking at least 5 to 10 years off my 80-year-old status. Would that be something if I'm still running for president at 80? And I'll probably be stitched up in that outfit that Jack LaLanne had, where it made him look all muscular, even though his body's falling apart, and I'll be like, oh yes, I'm ready to go, everybody. I might just be that guy at 80. You never know. Vote for a third party. Hopefully I'll look better than Ralph Nader. Well, we all give good messages wherever we go. I send messages through email.
Mostly massages.
Massages, yeah, I was just saying. John is not a Protestant, he's just a cloud. Okay, Christian Jihad, I appreciate you explaining yourself earlier about the a lot of the kind of the snake handling Christian people believe that Israel is the new promised land, blah, blah, blah. I get it. You have a much more evolved view. Well, I believe, guest, Sarah is not a mother, so you can look at her as a beautiful single woman right now, pursuing her greatest dreams and an excellent life. Thank you. Costume change? No, not going to happen. There's the Shield of Blackness. You're already doing shows about it. Let's take a look. I don't normally click on YouTube videos. Let's hope this works. Ah, okay. That was just one of those copies from one of those cartoons. Yeah, life is a cartoon for some people, and then they commit suicide. Case in point, Robin Williams. I'm still on the fence on whether he was killed or whether he committed suicide, but you can't go through life making light of everything and a joke about everything and expect to not feel suicidal at the age of 64 or 63. We're thinking maybe a little cloning activity, a possible, maybe we can produce about 500 of our children. Would that be nice? Would you like 250 little Sarahs and 250 little
25
Daves? I didn't tan my forehead. No, we just increased the yellow tone in the You should have seen me earlier, Sir Quack.
Oh, I know.
Or Guest 379. I look like an albino. I looked like I was seriously suffering something. Yeah. Lower the stress. That's why I'm not doing the ALS ice bucket challenge to keep my Adonis look. Well, I've been working on the Adonis look ever since Charlie Sheen told me he was the Adonis. He had Adonis blood, and he's told all of us that. Now I realize I can't even use the word without paying him a trademark, so it's crazy. All right, now let's get to the bottom of what's really happening in America. Because we are broadcasting on Ustream in case you are running a tablet or an iPhone. It's really cool to watch us on Ustream. If you can't get us any other way, catch us there. We need more viewers on Ustream too. It would really help. Ustream is one of those dead networks. You can just, I'm going to leave that here. It's a dead network. Sarah and Dave, Topper Dan is a Bubba Bush mod. Oh, good to know. Well, that's why we banned Topper Dan, and we don't want him back in the show.
Oh, I banned all. No, yeah, banned
well, once Topper Dan comes in, then we'll ban him again once he opens his mouth and makes flirting remarks to you.
Yes, no flirting remarks.
Diamond the Pie, thank you.
To
I'm not going to talk about any issues like my personal body parts. Let's talk about. I am kind of. I'm 18 years older than Sarah. I'm not a loser. No, I'm a winner. I'm a winner, winner, winner. I'm smart enough. Gosh darn it, I'm smiling enough, and I'm here every night doing my show, and people like me. I'm a winner. I will never make fun of the Holy Bible, Christian jihad. I would never do that. This is a political show with no religious overtones. God, what a freak this guy is. He's a really whack job. But yes, we understand that you don't like Israel. Israel is our ally. Do you mind?
You know that in Gaza, they're executing anyone that they suspect of collaborating with Israel.
Oh, man, they do.
Hamas militants are preparing to execute them now.
That's unreal. I'm beginning to wonder what is true and what is a propaganda attempt. We respect all African Americans, coochie coochie, yes. Anyone who wants to come in, feel free. I'm a great guy. I'm not a racist, unlike all these Democrat Obama tards that are calling me that. It's ironic that the people that are responsible for bringing us Barack Obama are calling me a racist. The one guy that spoke out against Obama in 2008, using parody to make all of you realize you're being lied to. And now they call me a racist. Isn't that funny? I support rights for all people, Guest 523. I have an Equal Rights Amendment I'm putting together. I'm building it. ERA 2, it's called. And it'll be all about no racial profiling, no more affirmative action, same wages for men and women in job places. That's what we're shooting for. No job will be unequally paid to a man or a woman. That's it. A new ERA 2. And I'm bringing back, I think, Woodstock. I want to produce a Woodstock 3 in 2016. If we could pull that off, that'd be great. Does anybody know where we could do the Woodstock 3 as a revival for America's Third Party and what we're doing? If you have a backyard that's 50 square miles, we'd love to talk to you. No, we're not offering brown acid at all. I don't do drugs.
Yeah, you were purged.
I'm not justifying myself. No, I'm not spending all the time of the show. I'm talking about the issues. We have a freedom issue tonight. Our focus tonight is freedom. Lack of free speech, inability to bear arms when a bunch of Democrats want to take our guns away. Yeah, we're really upset that they pushed their agenda and it's taken all the time away from our country. And how many fiscal cliffs do we have to get to realize the tax and spend mentality of the Democrats is killing our nation? I would love to talk about anybody of any kind, Mexican, American,
it's on YouTube,
Hispanic,
Wuchi.
Latina, or Latino. You notice how Barack Obama calls Latinas Latino? Latino.
I agree, Dan.
Latino. Not Latino, Latino. I want to live in America. We can talk about gun control, period, but it's not going to go anywhere. We don't believe in it. We believe in a registration period like we have. I'm not attacking Democrats. They just happen to be standing in the way of a third party. So all of you Democrats realize we're on our way and we're going to do everything to stop you, even if the Republicans take the 2014 election in both the Senate and the House. I want balance in this country, and I'm willing to vote Republican at this point in other areas, but please vote for me. I'm an independent. But at this point, I don't like Republicans, don't get me wrong, but I want balance in Congress. Vote discount. Vote for free discounts. Free discounts for everyone. They stole my signs, man. I know, and I'm really pissed at the Democrats now, so now I'm back to being solely an independent. I've never been a Republican. No, but I support the idea of you guys voting for anything to bring balance back. We've got a democratically led Congress in some ways. The Senate leads on bills, and that sets the tone for what the House does. And this is not working because we've got a president that wants to just take away our freedoms. He's already passed laws, executive orders, that allows Interpol to come into your car, take out anything they want, including you, pull you out of the country with whatever they want. Illegal search and seizure has been opened up with executive orders that Obama has passed. I'm just totally telling you what's going on here. He's also tried to push gun control, which is violating our Second Amendment, and he's pushing on our privacy, literally giving a carte blanche to big, huge information gathering organizations like DARPA and NSA and CIA. No coffee is not harmful to your health. It's actually good for you. It lowers your chance of prostate cancer by 50% if you drink 5 cups a day for 25 years. It makes you talk really fast. And it does not in any way inhibit your endorphins from firing really fast your brain, engaging instantaneous synapses in your entire thought process. You can also do blueberries. They help too. All right, fish feeding time, Sarah. No, you're really ahead of your time, buddy, 745. I know, I like the Tea Party, but not that much. I'm not a social conservative. And Topper Dan, you're on very thin ice tonight. We found out you're a mod in some other room, and you're some sort of an interloper. We don't like you, Topper Dan. I bet Sarah cannot do that. Dave, in your case, coffee sure does spark you up. Yeah, Ed. Well, I'm not 2 sheets to the wind like you are, buddy. You lived a hard life. I don't do coke, Rodney. You've lived a real hard life. Yes, Topper Dan is a definite interloper. That's right, Dodo. Look it up. I know you're getting excited. Exactly, William. Thank you. Well, I heard you were a mod somewhere, and I'm beginning to wonder. Dodo, please. We know that you have this personal sex addiction. We don't want to make that the focus of our show. Yeah, the interloper, person who becomes involved in a place situation where they are not wanted. Yadi or ya. Thank you for that. I know. Well, the Christian Jihad, I did everything I could to stop this African American from lying to the American people. I really did. I put a parody out there, and now I'm being called a racist for it. It's crazy. Frankly, David, you're a talented entertainer. Well, hats off to you too, buddy. You're a talented interloper. I don't ever do that. I'm not a gay man, 398. I'm actually a heterosexual. I've never had gay sex. You can quote me on that. Well, you behave like an interloper. So what's your stance on religion and politics, Mr. Kindo? I don't have a stance. We believe in the separation of church and state. We'll get to that, 791. We aren't banning right away.
This be under
Thank
here?
you, Mr. Kindo.
Is that what it is?
It's what?
This
Yeah,
should be under
that helps keep from getting killed. All right, thank you. Please, I don't want to relive that in my life. It's happened too many times. Okay, Obama pretends to be white all the time. He sucks up to Israel. Yeah, he does, but he doesn't suck up at the times when Netanyahu really needs his help. Ironically, you know, Netanyahu put it on the table with a red line in the sand in Iran that if they violated that he wanted our support in launching an air war. Obama didn't go for that. You know, an air war in 2013 would have been a really interesting scenario. Yeah, face off and take out all of their major missile batteries. Israel is about that close to triggering a conflict with Iran. And Obama has forestalled that by simply not agreeing with Netanyahu on that key point. I know, well, they all are, technically. I mean, Israel was founded on a group of terrorists. We all know that. Ariel Sharon and Menachem Begin, all these people were known terrorists at the time. But that's not the point. We're kind of drifting. Israel is a state we respect, and they are our ally. Let's not forget that. And we're not going back in time. We're going forward. Exactly. Thank you for sharing. Air war equals opportunity for the blimp plane to shine. Yeah, we could put an extra nice shiny coat on the blimp plane. using hydrophobic material, it'll really shine. And it's bulletproof, too. The blimp plane is amazing. Okay, change the subject from sex, talk about politics. What's your biggest beef about America right now? Are you not getting a job? Do you need more job opportunities? Do you want more free money from the government? Are you just all living off Uncle Sam, welfare? What's your big thing? What's the feeling here? Or do we want to stop paying out welfare to illegal aliens, non-U.S. citizens? Do you want to be a person who lives the rest of your life watching a 50-inch LED TV, playing video games, and eating tortilla chips, and occasionally going to the bathroom and rinsing off, or going, whatever you do? You know what you do. You do the doo-doo, the voodoo that we do. You do. We understand what we're talking about. Yes, 335, thank you. I can see this spun you off in a big direction. Please don't use the N-word in our show. I'm going to purge that. We have a zero tolerance for racism here. Thank you. It is racist, Coochie Woochie. Thank you. Anyway, we welcome all people of all color. Now, Sarah, we have a long tradition on Friday night of focusing on issues of freedom. And one of the biggest concerns I have is going down the road and being harassed by police officers when I go 5 miles per hour over the speed limit. Do you think it's okay in America for cops to just pull people over, doing no big deal?
When did this happen to you?
Well, it hasn't, but it could.
So
you can get a $200 ticket going.
Something that
No, across the nation, people are getting harassed by police officers.
How many of you guys in the chat room have gotten pulled over for going 5 miles an hour over the speed limit?
How many of you have gotten a big ticket, like 180 on a 5 mile? Not you. Yeah, Israel.
Unless you're in a school zone, of course.
Not you. Israel cannot be destroyed. They have a doomsday bomb. They'll take the rest of the world with us. So we need to move on. I agree, Winchell. Thank you. Thanks for clarifying. Well, I mean, you've had, Dave, probably 50 tickets. 745 had 50 tickets. Seriously.
They're thinking that
wow.
You might have had 50 tickets.
Oh no, I've never had one ticket. Oh, I had one ticket. That's all I've ever had.
I know you've never had any.
But I don't like these speed cops standing there with little Depends underwear, with their, creaming in their pants, going, "Oh, I got another one!" Oh, and then they jump in their car and then run out. And they're always these power trip hungry police force freaks that stand there and bother innocent people while they're just driving around with their family, freaking them out, causing their heart rate to increase. They do count as tickets.
Oh well, if you ran over a cop's butt,
I don't get tickets.
That would be really why.
Thank you, 137. You can be impressed all you want. I'm a very reactive person to chat. I've been doing this for 6 years. I'm not an enemy of the state, Dodo, and that is purgeable. That's not funny, Dodo. Don't ever say that. I support this great nation and the government. I want to change it from within.
Yes, Mr. Kindo.
It would be very beneficial to decriminalize. At least most low-level drug offenders should be released from prison in a staged, methodical manner. Not too fast. You want to be a blimp plane pilot, genius. That's cool. Okay, whoa, the Pope speaks, no one cares. Well, I'm talking. I'm not the Pope. My thoughts on Israel, nuke North Korea, you say? That's your name? I would never nuke North Korea. I could use a fuel air bomb, but thank you. My thoughts on Israel is Israel has a doomsday bomb. We need to cut back our foreign aid to Israel significantly, and I've talked about a 50% cut, in lieu of all these human rights abuses, just to tell them that they don't get free money, but instead Barack Obama rewards them. Israel commits, 1,150 deaths? 600 of them were innocents recently, innocent children, and what do they get? They get a $70 billion guaranteed loan from Barack Obama, $70 billion, mind you, but we don't have that money. And then they get a $225 million missile defense system. Benghazi is the complete cover-up. It revealed that Chris Stevens probably knew about the money transfer and the rocket transfer to Al-Qaeda and all the money that was repossessed from Muammar Gaddafi, and Chris Stevens had to go. I believe it was Benghazi is a serious cover-up this country's going to have to answer to, and I think Clinton will be held accountable. We're not done yet. Yeah, there's a guy that threatens Amber. It's true. I'm sure they do. We all have weapons-grade technology. We could talk about that tomorrow night on our anti-war rally. How do you keep a war from happening? Weapons-grade technology. State-of-the-art. Robotic UAVs will keep war from happening. A missile defense system is a guarantee that Israel will not be affected. The people, the innocents in Tel Aviv will not be hit by Scud missiles. But that's not to say that if the Scud missiles keep coming, that one of them might get through. I mean, the fact is our ally Israel needs to be told, you can't keep doing it. Every 2 years they clean out. What, in 2009 they lost 1,370 innocent Palestinians died. In 2012, another 160. In 2014, 1170, something like that. Horrible. It's like they're cleaning out every 2 years. It's ridiculous. There's got to be a better way. I have a better way for Israel, and we'll talk about that tomorrow night with our offer of peace with water, fresh water and food. Well, I'll talk about it now. When you bring water into a region that's dealing with a lot of economic problems like Gaza, it will immediately bring happiness and joy, food production, opportunities for young people who are displaced from the workforce right now will grow. You'll see some major changes in that area, and you'll begin to see a possible port in the Mediterranean for Gaza. I believe that could be put on the table as long as the UN has maximum automated control over everything that goes in and out. NASA in the future, Mr. Kindo, will be fused with NOAA. I'm going to reduce the NASA and NOAA combined budget. I'm going to probably get rid of a lot of the NOAA operations that we're currently engaged in, focusing on mostly just maintaining our infrastructure of communications. But their weather prediction sucks, and their tornado prediction sucks. And NASA's losing money left and right, so we need to get something off the ground that will actually make our country money. Not NOAA as in, no. Jeez, did you go to college? My God. And you say you have 6 PhDs? Who are you kidding, man? You can tell your mom that when you serve her mushy potatoes, but don't tell me that. Thank you. All right, moving on. You're not a mod, Topper Dan. You are a mod somewhere else. People have said that you're a mod in Bubba's room. That's what they're saying. Yeah, you know I don't appreciate people that try to undermine my effort here to create a third party. We've been working for a long time at this, and somebody who comes out with a fourth party who doesn't even want to debate me in our open line. We have an open show. We can debate people every night. We open it up at the after show. I start talking to people one-on-one over at StreamUp. Now, we're broadcasting on Google Hangout as well, right?
Yes.
This is really good. Sarah's set up a really nice setup. I'm using the word setup too many times. Please remove setup from vocabulary. Sector 9, matrix, matrix 4, remove setup.
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 I felt like I should be doing setup.
I'm stuck. Yeah, Sarah's a nice setup.
Have a nice setup.
We have a good setup here. We have a touch screen, a 23-inch touch screen. We should probably show people our setup, but we don't have to really, yeah.
No, I don't know if it matters.
Well, I don't often take the camera out. As you can see, Sarah is beautiful from all angles, especially her profile. I love her profile. Anyway, we have a really nice mic here, which is a Audio-Technica. It's a condenser mic, so it picks up a lot of outside sounds, but Sarah and I can both be heard on it. And then we've got a couple cameras. We got a laptop, and this is our touch screen. Yep. Anyway. Yeah, there you go. And we got an Xbox down here. You can't really see it with a bad light, but yeah, it's down by your hand. And then I've got a Hauppauge PVR2, which sends the Xbox signal to our gaming show. And we're running the whole thing for an amazing, all for under $1,500. It's phenomenal how we were able to pull this off and build this amazing setup. When I spent 10 grand at one time on computers, we finally got it down to 1,500. The touchscreen is $299 at Best Buy.
We do a gaming show before we come in here at Topper Dan every night.
Yep. Yeah, Topper Dan, we have a gaming show. Follow us on Twitter, man, at Third Party. Join us, please, because we send out a gaming link every 4 o'clock, 6 days a week, and you guys can really watch amazing. Yeah, total. Thank you. Evidence. You can watch an amazing gaming show. Today we did Call of Duty Black Ops. I could watch TV on our computer, but I don't have a cable system here. No, not Connie doesn't want to sue me at all. Connie signed an agreement to just let that rest. Thank you. And so Connie and I are on really good terms right now, so please, bear in mind, the internet saved my relationship with my sister. Thank you. Well, follow me. Yeah, Twitter is @thirdparty, and the gaming show, it rocks. It really is. It's fun. No one swindled anybody. Connie and I settled, and we're not angry at each other. No, that's an old story. It's like 6 years old. I don't want to go there. Connie's my sister. I do game. Evidence, Evil Dance. And Sarah is the expert on a couple games. She's got aviation history in her bloodline, related to Howard Hughes, Charles Lindbergh, and the Wright brothers. Sarah, as a distant relative of all those people. She plays this game on Monday called Assault Horizon, which we fly F-22 Raptors. It's amazing. No, we're all working together now. Connie and I are getting along great. No, Connie's not my, no, she doesn't work on Fox News.
Incorrect. Blue Vedic Tango, and if you post it again, I'll ban you.
I know. No one, yeah, that's just incorrect. Please don't post that. She's not mad. We're all good. Well, I simply used every legal means possible to subdue an angry person at the time. We followed every letter of the law. It all worked out great. I did, yeah, and everything was impeccable on my end. But I understood her concern. You know, she really just wanted pictures. Turns out she just wanted photographs.
And Lenny, that's not exactly what happened.
Yeah, she just wanted some photographs of her, you know, so I gave it to her. You're put on the line every day in the markets. Well, Topper Dan, you're making a big mistake by putting it on the line in the markets. The markets are very fragile. There's 26 trillion, gosh, wow. It's $26 trillion in the money markets.
Looking oranger.
Yeah. You like the orange look? Wow.
Anybody want me to change it?
Thank you for being featured, Evil Dance. Thanks for helping me be featured. But you could lose your shirt in money markets because they're not secured. If you're buying derivatives, you're really playing with the big guys, and those guys know what they're doing. And if you're just a small guy, you could probably get absorbed. Rodney, you're in the market, aren't you? Well, silver could be below 20. It's a rigged market. COMEX and the New York Mercantile Exchange is very powerful. It has done a lot of paper trading of silver and gold, which has pretty much watered down any hope of silver or gold going up in value, ironically. It's totally controlled, yeah. Oh, I'm sure people trade in the world market, but when you talk about everybody, you're talking about a select group of people, Topper Dan. Most of us don't trade in the market. 99% of the population has no stocks whatsoever. You're talking about a group of select people who literally live like Rodney. Whenever he wants to cool off, he goes down to this scummy jacuzzi with 3 older women sitting there with their tanning lotion melting in the water, and he just dips in there and relaxes. He's in a nice place. That's what people, you know, get to do when they live in a nice place, when they're really rich and they bet in the stock market. Me, I have to slave away in this horrible place on Whidbey Island, a mile from the beach with a view of the Olympic Mountains and my own swim spa, which I swim in every day, which has purified water in it. I don't have the kind of money the big guys have, the ones that sit around and scum. I'd like to adopt myself, actually. I can't afford another adoptee. I'm taking notes from you, buddy.
You get a real baller, live on the beach discount.
Yeah, well, who needs that radiation? Poor Sarah, she's sneezing because of the radiation. Yeah, I purify my water in my swim spa. Yeah, you're living in it, man. You're living it. Bless you, Sarah. Bless you. I know 401 mixed up in it make big problem. Many moon ago, big pensioners lose lots of cash in big-time Wall Street market collapse. Yeah, 401k, not good idea. You lose big bucks many times. The herds of people are sitting on their 401ks going, I sure hope nothing happens to my 401k. Dude, get a brain. Invest in some sort of a floor safe or something, for crying out loud, or do something. It's a scam total. I've cried until tears no longer come. My heart is broken. My spirit poured out as I see what is happening to my people. Little children and tiny babies are fainting and dying in the streets. Mama, we want food. They cry and then collapse in their mother's arms. Buckwild, is that from the life of a Syrian victim of, I mean, what is that? Daughter of Jerusalem? Thank you. Thank you so much, Buck. He's that Christian guy. You should get together with the Christian jihadist. You and he could hang out together. Seriously. Start, like, networking among your Christian fellow worshipers. You trade, you don't invest. Oh, so you're one of those scavengers that live off of other people investing. And you're selling them penny stocks. That's right, you're the guy that told me penny stocks are the way to go. Oh my God, you're the bottom feeder. You're the guy, they do movies about that, like The Sopranos. You ever see that movie, the series, Sopranos? Tony Soprano? Well, Christopher is a day trader like you. But he doesn't know, he's selling penny stocks. It's just terrible. If ISIS has their way, it captures you. What are Sarah's instructions? Rodney?
Movie?
Your instructions are to,
go after them with
vengeance,
like
yeah.
I was in a Call of Duty game.
I know. We're not talking about the market tonight. Buckwild, you can't really heal me right now. Yeah, I'm already healed. Can't you tell? I'm not making fun of the Bible. We don't talk about that here. No, you can talk negatively about the Vatican or Israel here. Please do not hesitate to somehow denigrate any religion you want on a political show. I don't care. My God, man. They are total scams. That be right? So, Buckwild, why don't you take your religious dogma and go back to your old religious room, No, I'm not British. What makes you think I'm British? I have a small 25% of my background. Was from an area outside of Dover. My family moved here in the 1600s, actually. Yeah, I'm a real American. I actually am related to colonial English people. I know. Can't afford it, though. We're playing Call of Duty Black Ops. I'm not talking like a British Zionist. How dare you? I'm offended. In fact, I'm going to contact British Royal Intelligence immediately, and they'll get in touch with the Mossad and take your internet access away. Do you have a no, I do. I don't. You have a... I don't know. I don't think I do. There's a couple of Sponheims that are African American, but they're downwind from my gene pool. Yeah, they've married into some African Americans most recently, which is great. I think it's wonderful. I want to meld the population as much as possible. I thought of having an interracial marriage at one time. I toyed with the idea, but I didn't. I found Sarah. And someday maybe we'll have that moment.
Maybe we'll have a moment.
That big moment, yeah. The one you're waiting for.
Yeah, I'm waiting.
And I'm waiting for it too, because I love the anticipation. I'm in the anticipation mode. This is not comedy gold. This is comedy silver. I need to upgrade to gold. Second base? Okay. If our baby was black, I would say something went wrong.
No.
I'm not black. I don't have any recessive African American genes in me. I have a little Native American in me, about 2 inches. Ooh, it feels good too. I'll bless those who bless him, and who honors you I'll curse, and in you the families of the earth shall be blessed. Are we reading scripture tonight, Winchell? That's special. Winchell supports Israel, as most good Christians do. We had a Christian jihadist in the room earlier who did not. Well, it's about yeah. The whole issue is the news. So I'm going to go to the news now. Let's take a look. I normally don't do this, but okay.
You don't need to worry about it.
Okay, let's take a look.
I got it over here.
Oh, let's
And I
bring it up.
looked.
Nothing happening?
There's a whole lot happening in the news. So they said that the U.S. They've set U.S. hostage. The U.S. They've gone in to rescue the hostages in Syria, and they dropped in some people. However, Hagel says that they're not going to plan on any U.S. airstrikes in Syria. Some people say that, of course, Assad is benefiting the most from the issues with the Islamic State, us going after the Islamic State.
Well, Assad has a
Can you,
strong
point
Christian.
that out?
Yeah, Assad has a strong Christian coalition. You know, many people don't realize that Obama asked for literally $500 million recently to fund Islamic terrorists who are Al-Qaeda terrorists in Syria to take down Bashar al-Assad, who's a Christian government. It's these terrorists that Obama wants us to fund. Are you with me, folks? Do you understand what I'm talking about? $500 million.
Yeah.
Obama wants to fund Islamic terrorists to take down Christians, claiming that Bashar al-Assad is this horrible person, and we haven't yet seen any proof of that. I know your bowels are troubled.
You need to eat
It's a
more
stress
salad.
organ. I'm sorry, William, but it's a stress organ. Please don't do that. I like to lean back on the chair. Bashar al-Assad has a... Yes! You didn't know? Yeah. There are many Christians that support Bashar al-Assad. He's not necessarily a Christian himself, but the entire Christian population is now being kidnapped by people who are getting U.S. dollars, who are Islamic jihadists. My God. You people don't even know that, do you? The media's kept that from you. I like being touched. I just don't like having to lean back in the chair and crush your
I
hand.
love, like,
You like your hand being
pressure.
crushed?
Yeah.
No, go ahead. So you like that. Okay. All right, I'll just shake the chair. In fact, let's do a little ventriloquism act. You go ahead and say something.
So what shall I? I will talk about how, yes, the troops were trained. I don't think that they purposely trained Islamic State troops. Of course, that's not David Spot speaking. That's me. I think that some troops that were trained in Syria to go after Assad then defected to the Islamic State.
Exactly.
And so then, technically they could have been trained by the U.S., even though it wasn't that the U.S. was purposely training these people.
The U.S. has been funding the rebels that got rockets from the same group of people that took down Muammar Gaddafi.
You don't go back when I go back.
This was a let's see. This was a carryover. Basically, what you're seeing in Syria is an expansion of the Libyan policy that our government had when we did the bidding of the World Bank and took down Muammar Gaddafi in Libya, culminating in rockets being transferred to Al-Qaeda. The former president that replaced Muammar Gaddafi in Libya was former Al-Qaeda. It was all publicized. Everything's out there. So now all those rebels are now funded moving up into Syria, and some of them have drifted down into Iraq through ISIS. Now this is a very interesting scenario. What's going on is that the CIA has been funding all these rebel actions using a policy that's been repeated in other countries. Started in Libya, went on to Syria, and since it's not working, they want to now expand it into a general terror fear that Americans should somehow be fearful of terror. That's why Chuck Hagel is now saying that maybe they slipped in the border and they're going to do something in America. If the CIA turns on Americans in order to inspire their worldwide conflict, which they seem to profit from, then our nation is at great risk. All of us are. Well, Rodney, I mean, I don't see how ISIS could get me. I'm in a extreme secure location, and I have surveillance up the yin-yang and meters that tell me exactly what's going on around my house at all times, and I'm fully protected. So I don't see how they could get near me. If they got within 3 feet of me, I still have my firearm, which I carry on my body, and I'm an expert marksman. So I really don't think there's anything to worry about. I'm an expert at the BB gun. It is a test. Rodney, they're basically forecasting more fear of terrorism. That's what Sheikh Hagel is trying to do. He's just a mouthpiece for a higher plan, much more nefarious in nature. You see, war is solvable. We don't need war. In fact, war is obsolete. What makes you think that you are actually going to be president? Well, that's a very good use of the word going. Sounds like the Going Show, as opposed to the Gong Show.
Too many goings.
Going, gone. You need to go back to the grammar Nazi and talk to that person and find out what's wrong with your sentence construction. Dave, once again, you look fantastic. Randall, I know, and I know you're not gay, so that's a real compliment from another guy who likes to look at a guy who looks good. Yeah, well, I'm a manly man. I'm a man's man. I'm a man's man. I don't live in a gated community. I live in a somewhat controlled community, but it's not gated. I live in a world that is average. I like living in an average world. I like being in a community with middle class and lower middle class people living together, just getting by. I don't need to live on the beach like Rodney to feel like I'm a man. I can do it right here, just enjoying the simple pleasures in life, and I hope to somehow export all that to you and make you understand that you're living in the greatest country on earth, America. And you're very fortunate to be in America. But right now we've got a lot of people who are entrenched and corrupt in government that do not have your best interests at heart. I don't believe the Democrats or the Republicans at this point really care deeply about their constituents. They care about their $50,000 plate dinners. They care about their corporate cronies that basically pay for their paid vacation to the Bahamas. They don't care about their constituents. Oh, they'll pretend like they care. Like this competitor of mine, this guy who's Rick Larson, he's running for the U.S. House, as I would like to, as a write-in candidate now. He is a person who will glad hand anybody just to support the military-industrial complex. He supports war. He ratified the war in Iraq. He more than wants more military weapons. And it's interesting to note that many of these hardcore hawkish militarists that are embedded in the Democratic and Republican Party don't even know what good military strategy is. We'll talk about the benefits of our UAV defense system tomorrow night. We'll talk about minimizing the use of hardware like F-18s and maximizing the use of UAVs and making them more affordable. But we don't believe that you got to get boots on the ground in order to secure a region. That's old school. The new mentality and the very thing that I've been talking about for the past 6 years has been a containment policy. And now Barack Obama is mirroring exactly what I've been saying for the past 6 years, that we cannot win the war in Iraq. We can't. I've been saying that. I've said this is a containment issue. We need to protect the populated regions. Obama finally mirrored everything I said. It's almost like they're watching our show, and they just come out with this spin whenever they have to, when it's convenient for them. No, I don't have a hard-on for using drones, no. But I do believe that we have a very good, successful tool in the fight against terrorism, if you will, but more importantly, the maintenance and control of regions that are vital to our national interest and to the safety and security of the people involved. I don't want more war in Iraq. And the best way to have a good, solid, peaceful period in Iraq is to have a strong automated defense system. Strong. What we have now is a joke. Obama's done nothing to improve the infrastructure we spent $1.5 trillion on. He's done nothing to improve the very aspect of our national interest in that region. All right, thank you. Okay, I just ran a lot of stuff by you. You don't have to talk about it, but why is it called the White House when a black guy lives there? You know, he's the guy who went in front of the town hall meetings and said he wants to call it the People House. It's he wanted to call it the People's House. Obama did. It's kind of ironic. He doesn't have any respect for the White House.
Of course I will look out for the children of the United States. I don't have to have children to look out for children. I look out for other people's children.
That's right. It was the Red House until the Canadians burned it down during the War of 1812. Thank you, Cloud King. Sarah and I are not probably not going to have kids unless, of course, I do become president and she wants to have a child.
After you serve your 2 terms.
I don't. It's not my timetable. You're the one who has a timetable. I can't possibly do that and meet your timetable.
Oh, my timetable meaning my...
Your biological clock.
Biological clock.
Yeah, you would be. It would be 2 terms. Barely. You'd barely be able to get. By the age of 45, you would be able to have a child. At the end of 2 terms. You know, I'm just going to go ahead and have my genetic material frozen, so that if I get assassinated, you can still have a kid. Okay.
Okay.
All right. I made a decision, folks. We'll keep a cryogenic storage of my genetic material at the White House in case I get assassinated. All right. Well, I don't really care to talk about the Bible tonight, William. I didn't talk about that, Floyd. Okay? So please don't go there. You are so weird, 85-7. You are so weird. No, my son will be probably the image of me. With I'm not even going to fantasize about having a son. Please, don't go there.
Or daughter.
Daddy, daddy, daddy. I don't want the stress of bearing a child right now. You guys that are doing that, you're under a lot of stress right now. I know you are.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not easy having children.
Have fun with that.
Yeah, have fun with your children. I want to just enjoy life and protect what I think is important, which is our safety. Sarah and I, our safety is important, paramount to me. And try to help the country out. That's my big thing. My baby is the country and America's third party. No, I'm not trying to donate to Scientologists. I'm not a religious person. Okay, well, go ahead and call anytime you want. Guest 901. I'd have 300 million children, I know. It's true. I feel that. I feel that sense every day. All I think about is the future of this country. It's weird.
That's all you think about?
Yeah. Kind of strange. I take my mind off of thinking about the future of the country by doing menial tasks like gardening and you know, doing whatever project that I've got going. I've got a couple of ideas that I'm building in my studio.
Uh-huh.
You know, I've got that wind tunnel I'm working on and testing out the blimp plane. But you know, beyond that, I literally just think about the future of our country. Yeah.
The nations do work. The nation state does work, Cloud King.
Yeah, the nation state works. It's the only model of government that actually is successful. Well, I don't have a timetable, guest 700. One thing you learn about intimacy, you don't plan on intimacy. The worst thing you can do in a relationship is say, okay, it's 11 o'clock, time to undress and start doing it. You know? I mean, I hate when I see that on television, people do that. Okay, it's 11 o'clock, let's take our pants down and get it over with. You know, I mean, they cheated, guess 295. The Democrats, Republicans, my competitors cheated. They stole most of my signs. See, that's the thing. You can't force good sex. You just can't. Why not just send in the B-52s to carpet bomb ISIS? Well, number one, it's too late. They're already embedded with children. We spent 2 months looking at our president, our feckless president, who doesn't even know what he's doing, waste time when he should have 2 months ago done what you just said. That's what she said, David. Not necessarily, guest 810. If I get my way, we're going to lock down the border and keep Muslims from openly, illegally immigrating into our country, because they could be jihadists, and we're going to definitely look them over, make sure that they're not jihadists. I'll say, excuse me, but are you a jihadist?
Well,
no, I'm not a jihadist. Well, you're welcome to come on in then. Next one. Are you a jihadist? No, I'm not a jihadist. Come on in then. Yeah.
But Nike, it's not as easy as just writing a check for your end. You would have to go and spend that money yourself getting David on the ballot. You can definitely write a check for $5,000 though.
That's right. Topper Dan, I don't know what you go through, what kind of fetishes or self-flagellation
That's it.
you go through to get to your highest level of peak stamina for your sex partner. I'm not here to talk about your sex life, Topper Dan. Dave, if slavery still exists, do you think... Oh, that's a good question. I saw you wrote that in the room earlier about
Yes.
an hour ago, Robert. I saw that earlier. Dave, if slavery still existed, do you think riots in Ferguson would still... Absolutely. Because the North would never legalize slavery. So you'd still have riots in the North. And as far as I can see, Ferguson is in the North. Okay, carpet bomb ISIS until there's nothing left alive. Well, you don't care about killing women and
What about
children?
Syria?
Or?
What about there's Christians and
Yeah.
all kinds of innocent people in Syria and Iraq? So, I mean, I don't know.
You know, that's very derogatory. I'm going to ban guest 335. That was really rude what he just said. Okay, good point, Robert. Well, you know, I got to tell you, Sarah came from families that were in the South, and I came from families that were in the North. I was, like I said, I'm related to colonialists. Sarah is related to a lot of the people that fought against the war of northern aggression. So we've come a long way. 160 years ago, people were killing each other in America. We had 2 million people with their arms chopped off, 500,000 deaths. It was crazy.
I think our book is on eBay right now, William. I don't know how much David wants for autographing it.
There is a book right now with a $100 donation to our party. I will send you the number 4 copy.
Autographed.
This book right here. I must warn you, though, it has no page numbers. But it's the number 4 copy of Hybrid Capitalism. I will send this to you.
Address.
It was the first of our new series that you could buy right now, and this one is signed. It's the number 4. It says, "Thank you, David John Sponheim and Sarah Hart." Your signatures are right in here. So $100 donation will get you this book. I'll send it to you. All right. Just thought I'd put it out there. I do this every Friday night as fundraising. I'm sure you do, Rodney, in your mind. Jeez. Poor guy.
Yeah, they're autographed with his autograph.
Yeah, he wrote his autograph.
Rodney.
Rodney wrote it.
Thank you for reading this, Rodney.
He probably printed up on a Xerox machine and is selling bootleg copies in Singapore whenever he goes there.
Unfortunately, they're not allowed to donate $1 million due to... Go ahead and donate, and then I will refund everything except for $5,000. Because
So remember it. Yeah, exactly. I don't want to get Rodney started tonight, but I want all of you to know that it's not what your country can do for you, it's what you can do for your country. It really is. I mean, if you really want to step it up and build a third party, you have to start by telling other people about America's third party. By trying to help us somehow with Twitter, you know, referring us, maybe retweeting our tweets, because we tweet.
Dan,
do
that
things
is
like that.
extremely rude, and I'm going to purge you for that, and you better watch what you're saying.
Be nice to DT Laura. She's a long-standing supporter, and we don't take a lot of crap from anybody who wants to attack our long-standing supporters here. Okay, you love America and you are a Muslim. We welcome you to our show. Thank you for coming in. I want you to know that you have a place here to practice your religion freely. Just don't become an extremist jihadist that want to kill Americans or anybody who's not a believer like you are. That's all I'm asking you. All right, thank you. We welcome all people to freely pursue their own religion. And that's tied into my freedom of speech issue, which is part of the manifesto we call, this little thing called the Constitution of the United States. This little known document. Not too big, too. It's real simple. But freedom of speech guarantees freedom of religion, and that is why my ancestors came here from England and landed on the boat right after the Mayflower, just to get free of the overseeing tyranny of the King of England and how they prevented people from freely pursuing their own religious beliefs.
Yeah, joking about someone going after someone is worth purging for sure.
Yeah. You could binge and purge, too. If you eat a lot and then vomit, that's called binge and purging. I know. You can come in here and show support. Even Canadians come in here and like our show. Okay, we got to get some more entertainment value here because, you know, I just can't stand having a static screen for too long, and we've been in a static screen mode for so long here.
Well, I don't play videos anymore
because we got 2 feeds. Yeah, we
No,
need a
because
video
you
board on
said-
this one.
you said this show is not about videos.
No, it's about. No, again, you take everything I said literally. Wow. We've got more and more people becoming homeless in America. I'm bored too. This is McDumpsters. An example of what happens when you end up losing your house and get sucked into the world of living in your van down by the river eating government cheese. This can happen to anybody, everybody. You guys can't hear it very well. But anyway, this is exactly what could happen in America. There's 4 million homeless people right now, okay, living in garbage cans. It's not fun. That was Super Big Dumpster Day, yeah. So this could be all of us if we allow this country to literally forget what matters most, the American people.
No, we don't have a video link. David downloads all these videos.
These are just old videos. It's called Big Dumpsters. Look it up, Ed. You probably could relate. I know. I know. I was pretty homeless. I lived in my van on Venice Beach for 2 years.
Hi, Reflector.
I was nearly mugged by a bunch of angel dust freakouts people. Some guy nearly opened my door and I hit the accelerator. I took off. Luckily, my door was locked. But I mean, I've been in very dicey situations with a lot of weird people. You're from Venice? Cool, Pamela. I was in Venice from 78
That was a couple years
to
ago.
90. I
Yeah.
I didn't live there in Venice, but I spent 2 years from 78 to 80 living on the beach, literally in my Volkswagen van. It's great. This is not the Bart Simpson anecdote. That's a different story. But it all connects to my history living around homeless people, and I spent a lot of time talking to a lot of people who were homeless, who are homeless. And it's sad what's happening. No, it's not, Serious Sam. This is not a classic attempt at getting sympathy votes. This is the truth. I purposely made a vow of poverty when I was 18. And when I did that, I actually went out and bought a Volkswagen van and took a job and lived in the van. It's all true. You'll read about it in my bio. No, I used to sell T-shirts on the beach in Venice. It was amazing. I would put my little carpet down and sell T-shirts and antiques and stuff on the weekends. I'd bring in like $200–300 a day. It was fun. Well, Venice is not all water. The beach is wonderful. You have piles of sea hags there. I know. You got a lot of homeless now. No, not everybody had a van. I purposely went out of my way to live the 60s life. Big Dumpster Motors, thank you, Ed. No, that's not true, Uncle Lester. That was in a different car. The McDumpster Motors. Oh, you got another fun one.
Wonders how. This is Al's Wonders car.
What is this?
This is just the beauty of Al's car. Look at that.
I don't
See,
know
you can
why.
see that all the engines are
I
working
don't
just
know. I
fine.
think I'll-
Because it turns.
I don't think that's really relevant, Ed. I mean, you got to dig a little
Right.
deeper. Just don't grab any link and put it in our room. Use a little selection, Ed. My God, man. He's got no etiquette whatsoever when it comes to links. You don't click on a link like that. It looks like one of our YouTube videos. Nobody hits on those. He really is, Uncle Lester. Could you offer Ed a job and have him turn you down? I took a vow of poverty, yes. After affirmative action slighted my ability to get into Harvard, yes, Harkonnen. I chose a vow of poverty. I was deeply affected by the writings of Mahatma Gandhi, much like
And what was his other name? Not Mikhail.
it was not the writings of Mahatma Gandhi. He didn't write much that I know of, but it was actually the writings of Henry David Thoreau, who literally influenced Mahatma Gandhi. So I guess I was kind of indirectly right about that. but I've never really read Mahatma Gandhi's words. So I kind of misstated something there. But hey, it wasn't a lie, I just misstated it. Thank you. Okay, well, obviously there's some other things going on in the news that many of us aren't quite aware of. U.S. says Russia must pull convoy from Ukraine or face more sanctions. Oh, Barack Obama is doing a good job of bringing world peace, isn't he? Yeah, this is typical. He's spreading venom throughout the world, Obama is, and he's created a huge barrier between our nation and Russia. I know. You're right, 7300. I heard about his weird shenanigans. But no, Henry David Thoreau wrote a book called On Walden Pond on behalf of civil disobedience, which affected many nonviolent pacifists like myself. And my vow of poverty has carried me and sustained me through life, and I'm very happy I made that choice. Many of you are not happy with a life of materialism where you're constantly hounded for bills, meeting your minimum payments on your credit cards. I don't have any of those worries that you guys have. I know he's a weakling. I agree. Thanks, Ed. You've already lost your chance for posting links here, and no one's going to take you seriously now. Jane Fonda had started to get Michael J. Fox disease by that time. I didn't know Jane Fonda had Parkinson's. Does she have Parkinson's? Okay, yeah, even Americans don't like him, chlorine gas, yeah, I know. I'm one of those Americans that did not like Barack Obama when I saw him coming. I saw a liar. Topper Dan doesn't pay any credit cards. That's because he's fleecing everybody else in the stock market. Not on Golden Pond. This is, no, this is on Walden Pond. But you're thinking of Jane Fonda and Henry Fonda and On Golden Pond. Yeah, this is a book by a guy named Henry David Thoreau. It's called On Walden Pond on behalf of, or Walden Pond on behalf of social, on behalf of civil disobedience. No, if I had been accepted to Harvard, I would not have taken the vow of poverty. So there you have it. I took the road less traveled. I know, Uncle Lester. At least he can read links. Ed's a classic example of a graduate from high school. Like me, I can read links too. Well, let's take a look at the vandalism of the Russian monuments. Rodney, could you show me that link? Let your fingers do the walking on Google and give me the link, Rodney.
Get a job. Get a job, Rodney.
It was not a forced reality due to rejection. It was a reality that I realized that because money dominated the world and forced affirmative action on me, denying a Caucasian a right to an education, I realized that corruption and money had taken over the academic community, and I didn't want to be like that. So logically, I chose not to be corrupt and pursue money, and I made a vow of poverty, seeking a non-materialistic life. And it's been a very good life for me. I can't say, no, it wasn't forced on me. It was basically corruption led to my affirmative action abuse when I was victimized by it. Here we go. Thanks for that. I'll bring it into the chat room. So things are heating up with a lot of the problems in Ukraine still, and Barack Obama did a horrible thing to our country by alienating ourselves from Vladimir Putin. He used his own ego to create a barrier to peace. This is the worst thing a president can do, and your president is the worst president we've ever had. A lot of you are still reeling from your decision to elect him. Must realize that what he's doing is literally triggering potential conflicts that could lead to World War III. Exactly. I didn't go to Phillips Exeter. I had no chance of going to Harvard. Would it shock any of you to know that I actually am related to the people that created Harvard? They turned their back on their own family. Yeah. Okay. Russia angered by Bulgarians replacing Soviet monuments with American superheroes. Wow. Look at that. Moscow is calling upon the government of Bulgaria to prevent the vandalism of Soviet-era monuments. Sad, isn't it? Classic. Thanks, Rodney, for that. You're kind of like Ed. You just went out and looked for a link. God, you're really suffering from link lackitis. Yeah, the lackluster lack of abilities to get good links. See, David, a true vow of poverty would have been you getting accepted into Harvard, turning the scholarship down, committing to a no. Harkonnen, you can't say anything is a true vow of poverty. It's a felt thing. It's subjective. You can always change your vow, too, I suppose, but I don't want to change my vow. It's been really good for me. Poverty been very, very good to me. Yeah, it's happening, Meoff. I don't really take responsibility for the mistakes Obama has made because I've been fighting tooth and nail to stop the mistakes from being made. Okay, now's the time for me to get out, and you get to talk to Sarah. I'll be back.
Okay, thank you, David.
Thank you.
Yes, here we are. Welcome, everyone, to our show. I hope you guys are having a good night. I was just reading the news. Did you know that there was 25,000 Homeland Security staff were hacked in a cyber attack? 25,000. So, anonymous official says the number could be even greater as the department warns employees to check their bank accounts. And, oh, that happened in Oklahoma? Wow. Thank you, Ed, for sharing that case with us, that news story. Who got hacked? This is according to The Guardian, and it was Homeland Security staff. I'll give you guys a link. Thanks. Here we go. Do you have to go through TSA when you ride on a Greyhound bus? If not, can we pass a rule making it mandatory? Why, Uncle Lester? You want to expand the reach of TSA rather than lower it? I don't know about that, Mad Dog. I feel like. Oh, thank you. Oh, it's the lighting and my hair being up. Oh, I don't think so. Thank you, Dan. And I don't think that's something you should be saying. I think that'll be a purge. Yes, I am relaxing. And so it was undercover investigators were some of those that were exposed during this breach that happened. I'm bold. I'm brazen. No, I'm not that bold. I'm brazen. No, I'm not brazen. I'm bold. Yes. So they warn of ISIS retaliation in the U.S. by sympathizers. So we should be alert for possible attacks inside the U.S. in retaliation for U.S. airstrikes against ISIS. Wow. Thank you, Ed. It's crazy. I don't know what you're talking about, 2014. So, thank you. Did you know you guys are all gung-ho about the Ice Bucket Challenge, but there were actually 2 firefighters that were, I mean, it wasn't related to the Ice Bucket alone, but they actually got electric shocks because they were shocked by a power line while helping out with a, quote, Ice Bucket Challenge. And they're in critical condition. one was in critical and one was in fair. They were on the fire truck's ladder when it got too close to the power line. After dumping water on a marching band on Thursday. See, that ice bucket challenge is very dangerous. It's the ice bucket challenge is a way to raise awareness for the disease ALS. Yeah, and nobody it's supposed to be raising awareness of it. Thanks, I like this color for sure. A Republican official in Iowa urged Americans not to compare child migrants to their own children. Oh, but to instead consider them dangerous threats. That's really interesting, for sure. Because they could be dangerous threats, but so could their own children. I don't know. So you're going from ABC News rather than CNN, Ed? Thank you. I know the news is like a fallback position to talk about, I guess. I mean, there's so much that would be great to change. Yes, what will happen if they don't return a charge against the officer? Who knows? I did read, by the way, about the officer. There's doing some crowdfunding, like trying to raise money for both. There's a crowdfunding venture for Mike Brown, and there's actually a crowdfunding one for Darren Wilson as well. They have what's called a GoFundMe page, and the Darren Wilson's GoFundMe page raised more money than the Michael Brown's page. I don't know if it's just GoFundMe or other ones, but it's $235,000. Okay, different accounts, more than 225 and somewhere around 235, something like that. Yes. But not without backlash against comments made by some of the campaign's donors. So they donate $1 so they can rail on him or something. Huh. Oh, there's a giant crack in Earth suddenly appears in the rural northwest Mexico? Interesting, Winchell. Thanks, Ed. How have you been, Uncle Lester? Are you enjoying your time wherever you're at? Fun getting those casinos up and going. Ooh. On behalf of it, what? 7300? I'm not sure what you're talking about. But it is Freedom Friday. I'm really glad I'm free. Or I at least think I'm free. Oh, that's very cool. I'm glad you've got a girlfriend. You're not with her on Friday night? You'll probably be with her tomorrow night. That's good. You heard there's a huge heat hole formed somewhere in Siberia? I heard that too somewhere, Jack. One should really apologize. What are you talking about, 7300? Is there something that you want me to apologize for? I might. I just don't know what it is you want me to apologize for. That's the problem, is the ransom. That's why we don't negotiate with terrorists, Ed. Oh, you're reading at 10. Oh, good. It's almost, oh, so like right after the show. What? What? Uncle Lester? I didn't know Mark Vaughn was like that. Yeah. Okay. Yes, I did read that as well, Winchell, that the UN death toll from Syrian civil war tops 191,000. And but I still think I don't think the U.S. should be involved in that civil war. Oh, great. Just creating more fear, Alpha Dog, right? But I guess the government sent information to the police to be vigilant about that. No, Dan, that's okay. I'll be wherever I'm supposed to be for this lifetime. Europe, you think Europe should apologize to the world for the endgame of Islam that it has facilitated by pusillanimity? I'll have to look up that word. It has nurtured and protected the fascist regime. France and Italy pretty much always pay those ransoms. Oh, so the demands are for higher amounts than otherwise would be. And that's why the U.S. does not negotiate with terrorists, because they will just keep asking for more and more money. Oh, really? Wow, for Chinese, for a U.S. soldier fighter airplane. And this was in international airspace? Wow. In 10 days, the current Ebola outbreak is poised to claim more lives than the previous entire history of the virus. It's pretty amazing. I am on JustCast. I'm broadcasting on there, but I'm not monitoring the chat because a couple days ago when I monitored the chat, it froze my computer. So I'm a little hesitant to monitor the chat over there. Hey, Candy Rain! Yay! You're here. You'll make the show much better. Awesome, Mad Dog. Thank you for saying hi to everyone. Yeah, see, that's just ridiculous. They wanted 100 million euros for the release of the American journalists. Oh man, they probably are going to try to start taking people hostages for no reason. Wow. Thanks, Ed. I don't even have to go and look at the news sites. I can just wait and Ed will post everything here. Oh, hey, Graybeard. I didn't know that you were in the room. And a whole lot of people that just watch and don't necessarily talk, like Boss Hog and Chlorine Gas. Okay. And Coinbacks Nike. Well, you did say something earlier. That's okay, Ed. So the feds are revising some kind of rule on the birth control mandate. Under increasing legal and political pressure, they issued a new rule Friday designed to ensure female employees have access to birth control while accommodating religious employers that object to covering it through their health care insurance. It's the latest attempt at a compromise, which is in response to a Supreme Court decision, was quickly criticized by religious groups. for not fully addressing their concerns. The religious nonprofits and some companies would be permitted to register objections to the coverage required directly to the government. In those instances, federal officials would coordinate contraceptive coverage for those businesses. So basically, they're just expanding out Medicaid coverage, at least coverage for contraceptives and birth control. I mean, these are people that are working, so that is pretty interesting. So they say that this reinforces their commitment to provide women with access to coverage for contraception while respecting religious considerations. Very funny detailer. Maybe everybody has different types of intelligence, like the multiple intelligences. Reports of explosions at St. Louis County gun range. Multiple 911 calls. Well, why would, I guess medical benefits, I'm just saying, yeah. I don't know, Harkonnen, do you refrain from doing that? Yes, said. Thank you for posting that information. Well, meaning that you're a guy, so you don't really care about what the woman does. So you wouldn't refrain from it, but you think a woman should just not give it to you and tell you, oh no, I'm sorry, I'm not allowed to have, I can't afford contraceptives, so you're not getting any. That's what you think? All right. And then what, you would go find someone that doesn't really care if they get pregnant? I think that's okay as long as all children that are that oh, okay. We are going to be under a mass attack by what? Sidewalk sale. And when is this going to take place? You need a dictionary just to be in this chat? I do need a dictionary for that one. I said I was going to look it up, but I didn't. Pusil, that word that somebody wrote earlier. That's okay, 7,300. I don't really, yeah, exactly, Ed. Really, you don't need to post links about other potential candidates for 2016. Thanks! No more Ed links. No more links, Ed. The Ebola virus, did I see your link? No, I didn't see your link. Because Ed was busy posting all those links. Let me scroll up and see if I can see it. But what's this? Oh, a dentist surrenders his license over HIV hepatitis scare in Oklahoma City. Oh, I'm so glad I don't live in Oklahoma City. ISIS and terroristic spread of Ebola linked. ISIS offered to swap Foley for a Lady Al-Qaeda. Terrorists wanted scientists who was caught with plans for mass casualty attack with a dirty bomb, Ebola, and a chemical weapon that spared children. Afia Siddiqui, among other prisoners, that's what they wanted. She was jailed after she was caught with plans for, quote, mass casualty attack and details of New York landmarks. The author described her as a poster girl for jihadists, and her release would have been a public relations disaster for Obama. In her handbag was found details for a dirty bomb, Ebola, and a theoretical chemical weapon that did not kill children. Okay. Yeah. I wonder, but what this is in contrast to the Bo Bergdahl swap. Yeah. For another day, another show for me, Real PR. Thank you, 35909. Oh, really? I did read briefly about that, Jack. Yeah, they are trying to use dirty bomb on or anything honest any way they can. Okay, Ed, stop posting all these links. Thank you. Because people want to read what other people say, and when you do that quickly, their chat is smaller than your screen. Yeah. I mean, if you find a really great story, like I think this story is pretty good about the Lady Al-Qaeda, Afia Siddiqui. If you find a really great story, then just post the link. You don't have to give all the details about it. Thank you. So people on tablets, when you post that, it takes up their entire screen. Yes, okay. And, oh wait, I was going to look at this link, but it didn't come in. More pictures of your bathroom. I'm glad you're taking like a photo tour, Real PR. Whoa, that is pretty darn nice. Wait, what? You're standing on tile too? That's a lot of work, Real PR. Maybe there is an ignore tab in chat. So if people... So if people want to ignore certain chatters, they can always ignore them. I don't know if it works on a tablet, though. It is trippy, especially all those little tiles. Those are really hard to lay. I don't know, the little glass ones that are down below. It's looking really good. So is that like a seat in a shower so they can sit down while they're taking the shower? You just started downloading Mint Linux. Okay. Oh, thank you for that. I hope you enjoy your Mint Linux. Yeah, is there any inspiring news? That's cool. A guy that has ALS is spreading acts of kindness. That's his mission for the rest of his life. That's very cool. A little bit of both, Ed. He needs a little break.
So we're going to go on. Is anyone in iBlog? Because I could go out there and go on StreamUp.
Oh, sure.
Let's find out if anyone's in iBlog first.
Is anyone in here? Not really.
Okay.
All right, we're leaving iBlog if you wanted to see our chat.
All right.
Wait, me.
Oh, wait a second.
Me.
No, G7. Me.
William.
Okay.
Okay, you saved it. I was just about
We're
to
about
end
to
it, but
close
we're
it
not now. Just thanks for speaking
Well, we're
up.
casting there because there's some people casting. You know? No, seriously, Harkonnen. There are people that cast on that channel. Amber wants to come in and say hi. Look at this.
Oh, Amber. Ooh, oops.
Oh, that scares her.
I'm sorry,
She's too
Amber.
spooked now. She can't come in. Let's get the Amber Cam going here. I'll bring Amber Cam in. Here we go.
Oh, that
No,
is
hang
on.
on. This is the Amber Cam. She's right there, folks.
Here, come on, relax. It's okay.
It's okay. She wants to be in Daddy's lap. That's her thing.
I know. You want to sit down?
Oh, she's good. What's this little thing right here?
Yeah, I'll hold this and you can sit down.
And she's just looking for a way out right now. She's just saying, oh, I got to get out. Okay. All right, here we go. Oh, boy.
Here she comes.
Okay. This is what she really wants.
She
The
doesn't
lap
like
of
my
a king.
lap.
Hello, Candy Rain.
Oh, this is so dark.
I know. It's the Amber camera. Here we go.
Let me try. You mean just the light?
No, we're good. All right, so does it spray? No. Amber was spayed, so she doesn't have that spray thing going on. But Amber is a cat that loves pets, and I think she gets more pets than most cats. She's probably a pet addict or a petaholic, something like that. So she's getting her pets right now. She missed her. Yeah, females don't spray if they are spayed, if they had their tubes tied.
I don't think she ever. Well, she sprayed one time when she was really, really scared.
Yeah. Oh,
But
yeah, when she was
usually-
attacked by a feral kitty. One of those alley cats that was like bobcat, alley cat mix.
Purr.
You don't look like a Bond villain at all right now? Am I supposed to be a Bond villain? Yeah, well, we found a feral kitty in Los Angeles, California, the city. My name's David. I'm not a cop. We saw this feral kitty at a friend of mine's backyard, and Amber was in a tent, freaked out so much that she literally was spraying all over the place. She thought she was going to die, and I saved her from this feral kitty that was about 3 times bigger than she was. Yeah, and the next week, the guy I knew actually said that the cat had ripped apart another cat in the same backyard and left it for dead. Literally, just a bunch of fur was left over and bones. Literally ripped the cat apart. So Amber, that was one of her 9 lives that she was graciously saved by me at 2:30 in the morning. And I went out there and I got her out, and then when I put her in my car, the whole car smelled like a skunk for like weeks, and in fact to this day it still has a skunk scent to it. Weird. You look like you can't feel your face. How many train tracks did you do? What are you talking about, Rodney?
It's
Wow.
just the light from behind.
Rodney, are you some sort of a psychotic, or are you psychic? That's the question. Just saw on the news a black homeless woman almost beat to death by a California Highway Patrol officer. Wow, top her down. Now that's something I'd like to see a picture of. Not because I want to see it, but I just want to put it on our show, reveal it. Parapsychology is a study that actually has merit. You should look into it. They've done a tremendous amount of remote viewing in Russia using psychics. They can see us right now, I'll bet, if they focus really well on their internet connection with a browser open. There are people remote viewing me right now as we speak in Russia.
Amber is what they
Psychics.
call a tortoise-shell tabby cat.
It's called TV broadcasting. I know. Nice, pussycat, yeah. Pussycat, pussycat, where are you? What's up, pussycat? Whoa, yeah. Little Tom Jones there. Those are dash cams, David. Oh, I thought you were remote viewing. Okay, well, I stand corrected that all the money that they're making in Russia on remote viewing people in their bathrooms masturbating, I don't know. I think they call that porn or something.
What are you looking at?
Yeah, you're right. There's no such thing as remote viewing now. We all see each other. In fact, in a way, technology is bridging the gap of parapsychology. That's right. The Kirlian images that we're emitting from our bodies as we speak, Sarah, are actually being videotaped in some remote laboratory watching this video signal. Okay, that was the end of the... That was actually longer than most. She normally doesn't last that long. Yeah, we have a really nice space here. It's kind of a well-heeled space. We've gotten good use out of it. If I was trapped forever underground right here in the shelter, you know, and we broadcast to like an empty signal because everyone else was completely terminated from nuclear war, and we're the last ones living here in the underground shelter, I could do this even if I didn't have an audience. Could you?
Stream up?
Yeah, I'm going to go over there. I'm going to switch it.
Yes, you could.
I could do this even if I didn't have an audience. It's not a basement. No, it's a complete underground shelter built to survive a global nuclear attack.
Wait, could I do what?
I thought I explained that all to you.
Specifically, are you asking me?
You didn't know that I lived underground?
What are you saying?
I'm going to take stream up. I'm going to go in right now, and Sarah's going to take a little break. I'm not paranoid. No, I'm realistic. Yeah, Hawk. I realize that the nuclear war is imminent. I mean, I can call right now from NORAD. Go ahead. We've got someone calling from NORAD. Go ahead. All right, we got DEFCON 4 here, buddy. What's going on there, Mr. Rodster?
Hey, Discount.
Yeah.
You brought up a good point, man. I can totally picture you immediately following like a nuclear holocaust.
Right.
You and Sarah in the bunker, like broadcasting to each other, pretending you're like the internet still works.
Exactly, and we would do that forever until some Martian would listen in, calling himself Rodney, and go,
"Hey, yeah, how you doing? Get a job, Discount. Get a job."
I mean, how many days do you think Sarah would last before she snapped on you? Before she just got totally irritated?
Snapped? What do you mean? Sarah snapping? I mean, the two words are not synonymous. They're antonyms. Sarah and snapping. Sarah is the most peaceful woman I've ever met. I wouldn't have even brought Sarah into my life if she didn't calm me down, Rodster.
Right.
She really has
a... You know, in times of trouble, you never know how someone's going to respond, Dave. I mean, nuclear holocaust is pretty serious.
Well, imagine a hypothetical... Okay. All right. Well, imagine a hypothetical. This is absurdism. This is kind of what Robin Williams was doing right before he committed suicide. But imagine a hypothetical moment where I'm the only person talking to an empty screen, and I'm still talking like I am right now. And I know in my heart that no one's listening because you're all completely devastated from nuclear war. I mean, but I'll still do it. I know.
You're committed, man. You'll keep the streak alive. You're
I will.
Now ripped into worthless internet broadcasting.
No, I'm the Cal Worthington, and my dog's Spot. If you want to see Dave, go see Dave. If you want to go see Dave, go see Dave. If you want to see Dave broadcast into infinity, go see Dave, go see Dave, go see Dave. I'll eat a bug for your viewership. Yeah, Cal Worthington died last year, you know. Yeah, it's a sneaky underground tunnel system built specifically for the survival of the human species. I, being of Norwegian descent, am holding on to the final human genome. And I've perfected my genes so that I can actually replicate and produce even better human beings on Earth. So if I'm the last person alive on Earth, you guys, it's a win-win for humanity, isn't it?
I don't know about that, but so do you have plenty of like Viagra stored away there, so in case you and Sarah have to procreate, you know, to respawn the species, it'll be feasible?
No, I beg to differ, Harkonnen. I'm a person of Norwegian descent, dating back to Germany under my Sponheim lineage, and I'm Native American because one of my relatives got funky with some Algonquin Indian in some hut, 500 years ago, 200 years ago.
Okay, next question.
Next question, please. No, Viagra treatments will not be government funded, but thank you for asking.
How many days worth of water and expired food do you have stored away in your bunker there, Koresh?
Well, if it includes, I'm not Koresh, and please, don't even insinuate that I'm anything like a freak like that. Thank you. I have essentially, no, not 1514, but we were here, yes, under Leif Erikson, Uncle Lester. We arrived in 1522 to the, we predated. Yeah, anyway, I don't want to get into an argument with Italians over who created America. Yeah, well, I live in a modular. Actually, when people say, David, where do you live? I say, I live in my body. That is where most of my being resides. Sometimes I drift out while channeling. No toupee. No toupee. Solid hair. I cultivated my hair using algae, of all things. I put algae on my head to increase the follicle health. Go ahead.
Hey, Dave, if I flew you to New York, would you give Cookie Lipschitz a proper haircut?
Fly me to the moon. No, I will not fly anywhere, Rodney. I don't trust the TSA fondling me at the airport. I feel really weird about it. So I will drive to New York. I'll see on the way.
Fun, man.
No, seriously, man. I mean, I had a couple of hairdressers in New York that tried to work me over like you're doing, but it's not going to work.
Right.
I'm not gay. So please, could you just, not lavish me with gifts? You don't need to win me over, man. I'm not your butt buddy. All right.
Why did you have to hang that weird left there, Dave? We're not talking about bags. We're talking about you giving that bastard Cookie Lipschitz a decent haircut.
I think, are you referring to some sort of a transgender?
Correct. His name is Cookie Lipschitz.
Yeah, well, so you're saying I'm the one who brought up gayness, and you're talking about a transgender here? Excuse me.
No.
I mean, really?
Use a transgender. I just said he needs a fucking haircut. You spotted on all this nonsense.
Well,
Get your mind out of the gutter, man.
I'm not a hairdresser, and I don't know anyone who would be a good hairdresser. But I'll ask Nancy if she could have some more Valium from her doctor.
Look, man, I don't really know what's on your mind.
So I figured you could cut somebody else's hair, brother.
I don't do other people, dude. I don't cook for other people. I cook for myself and my immediate family. I'm one of the best cooks in the world. I put William Ayres to shame. I can cook better than William Ayres. You know, the guy that brought communism to the presidency.
The terrorist.
Yeah.
The guy who should be hanging from a tree right now.
Exactly.
That's
Yeah.
bitch.
Oh, exactly. He's taken our country too far to the left, my man. And I'm concerned about your republicanism and all your independent views of the country. A lot of you are just taken amuck by Barack Obama's brash, cavalier attitude that he thinks he can get away with this, and oddly, he is getting away with this because the Republicans haven't called a spade a spade. I'm sorry to say, but I'm going to use it. This president is hiding under the...
Say that. You can say spade.
I'm saying the colloquialism is a spade a spade. This is the deal. I can't say anything. Even the words spade a spade is a common colloquialism in America. I can't even say that without you thinking that I'm referring to Barack Obama. That's what gets me. I have to change my language. Seriously, I have to change my language, modify my language, deny my history as an American citizen, and stand here and say, oh gosh, basically Barack Obama, and I told you this earlier, Rodney, Barack Obama is hiding under a shield of blackness.
Right.
That's what's going on, man. And if you Republicans can't see that, you've got a real problem. And Mitt Romney wasn't willing to admit that there was a problem with the birth certificate. That is a serious problem.
Well, I think he wanted to. I think he got talked out of it, by the powers that be. Again, this thing's much bigger than...
Oh, come on. Mitt Romney didn't want to make a big issue of the birth certificate. Get off of it. What, are you rewriting history or something? Come on. He told Donald Trump, no way. But it could have seriously led to the winning. He could have won that election if he just opened up the birth certificate issue. And I'm so sorry that the Republicans haven't even realized that yet. No, seriously. No, nothing's too late. I'm moving forward, but I got all this baggage that I'm holding on to. It's almost like the creeping crud. The reality that we still haven't broached the serious issue of Barack Obama's birth certificate. Now, I'm going to get this stream up, and I'm going to make it available for other people to communicate in our room, live.
That's cool. Hey, speaking of Obama, did you do your segment on black fruits yet, or what?
No, look, I have not. I've not done anything openly antagonistic right now. I'm still feeling it out, and I'm analyzing their view of me before I actually move into the role of Barack Obama 2, or Barack Obama's 2.
I'm not referring to deployed in a blackface state. I'm referring to your daily segment about black fruits.
I don't talk about black fruits, man. What are you talking about?
Yeah, you do. I mean, you talk about berry and that other shine. What
Okay, yeah, no, you're talking, oh, hey-oh. That was a Johnny Carson moment. Yeah, no, I'm talking about, yeah, we usually talk about the guys that Obama was intimate with at this time, if you'd like to bring it up. I don't have a problem with it. You want to talk together?
I wanted to keep you on track, man. You do your Black Fruit segment every night, and I don't know if it had happened yet, so I just want to keep you on track, man.
Right on, man. I appreciate it. Hey, always give me cues, and if you can help me along. Would you like to talk about the Nazi we call Barack Obama right now? The National Socialist, would you like to segue to his homosexual behavior after we talk about how he embraced corporations to the hip and basically became an arm of corporations?
You're rolling, Dave. I'm going to hang up and let you just keep on rolling, man.
Thank you, man.
Now you're in the groove.
All right, baby. Thanks a lot for coming. Take it easy. Have a good time tonight with your friend. All right. That's Barack Obama as dressed as a Nazi. And, I only do this because I want to illustrate a point that Barack Obama is a chameleon of sorts. He can meld with corporations. Well, let's be clear. I don't want to get into corporate politics here, but we're having a problem with British Petroleum, and we haven't been able to address it. I mean, BP, the Gulf of Mexico, literally took him 45 days to respond. He's in bed with Wall Street, Goldman Sachs. He literally was trained at the Kissinger Institute, the center of world banking affairs, and all the while he was a closet homosexual having sex with young guys from the Trinity United Church in Chicago. I'm not making any of this up. It really is going on. Donald Young died in 2007. Donald Young and he were intimate. Fact. His mother confirmed it. Fact. His mother, who was a bookkeeper at the Chicago Police Department, actually said, "Mom fears son slain to protect secrets of pal who became president." Now, at this time, most of the Democrats in the room and Obama-tards are standing around going, David, why do you keep talking about Obama and his homosexuality? I mean, because Donald Young is dead. Nobody knows how or why he died, okay? Let's just stack him in this little category of people that are not happy to the Führer, that in some way mock the Führer's greatness. Let's take a look at another person who died, Miriam Carey. Miriam Carey, beautiful girl. Look at her. Look at this woman. Seriously. You take a look at this woman. She is gorgeous. Again, evidence of bisexuality. She drives into the D.C. area. Was there multiple times. I don't love fruits, Rodney. I enjoy vegetables as well. I'll take nuts as well. Nuts, fruits, and vegetables. Any of you characterize yourself as a nut or fruit or vegetable, you definitely want to vote for me. Miriam Carey literally drove her car into the White House area multiple times, like 7 times prior to the day, that fateful day that she lost her life. And I mean that fateful day. No one wants to go there, but we like to forget about history, but it's almost like yesterday that this happened. So how can we just forget about these things? We have to look back and say, hey, well, there's something wrong here. There's something not right with this picture. The news broadcast it as her alone driving in a car. Check this out. Okay, this is from Freedom Abolish the Act of 1871, a guy on the internet that did this. Check out this picture right here. You see that picture? Let me move my head out of here. This is the fateful car that literally she was driving that terrible day. She, by the way, was out of work for about a year, and she literally was making $600 a month payments on this incredible Audi. And you can see from the headrests there that the headrests do not look like the picture up above. My concrete evidence is right in front of you. You're looking at it, Harkonnen. Look at it, seriously. You are looking right at the concrete evidence. All right, right above me, right here, you can see 2 heads. You can see the car, the exact car that she's driving only has 2 seats. It's not, there's no way. These 2 people were in this car. It turns out witnesses said that the car was later parked about 2 blocks away. The guy gets out of the car. She was shot to death, unarmed, and is shot to death, and the baby was taken and brought to foster care. The sister of Miriam Carey is suing the Secret Service and Barack Obama, and they want paternity tests for something like $50 million. But it's a serious situation. You've got a lot to be concerned about with this president. This is why I started America's Third Party. My whole goal was to actually get a sound alternative to this radical left-wing guy. So I actually wrote a book with Sarah called Hybrid Capitalism, which, amazingly enough, deals with building our free market, getting the government out of small business, and getting a return on investment, and building a nation that is dedicated to built-to-last products, U.S. labor, and create things that other countries are going to want. That's a real simple plan, and it's one of the key ways that I'm going to get the export growth in our country back up to speed. Our service economy is really good. We've got a really robust service economy, so we don't have to worry like a lot of other countries that are still falling out in that department. I mean, you go to the Ukraine and you can see the poverty. All you can see is with your own eyes, Harkonnen, and I just showed you proof that the media didn't want you to know that 2 people were in the front seat. They wanted you to think that she was alone in the car with her baby. Monsanto is another tragic story. They want to profit from all the GMO foods, and the 2 parties are basically fused at the hip with Monsanto. They want you to think that the world is basically perfect and you have nothing to fear from GMOs, almost like this is Mr. Rogers and telling you,
Hey neighbor.
hi neighbor.
Welcome again to this neighborhood. I'd like to show you something.
Yeah, GMOs. GMOs.
Maybe if I press this button. This is a cassette player with a little cassette in here. And there's nothing written on it. So we'll just have to play it to see what it is. Do you ever imagine things? Are they
Scary things like GMOs.
Are they scary things? Do you ever imagine things? Things you'd like to have?
Like toxic waste in your backyard.
Did you ever see a cat's eyes in the dark?
Did you ever see radiation burn your skin?
And wonder what they were. Did you ever pretend about things like that? Did you ever pretend about
You ever pretend about dying in a world full of toxic waste?
things like that? Did you ever grow anything in the garden of your mind?
Like a tumor? You grow like things like that, like tumors and rats from GMOs?
You can grow ideas in the
Garden of your mind. Anyway, I don't want to belabor the point. They want you to believe that everything is fine. Life itself wouldn't be possible without Dow Chemical. And they want to pollute the world and basically turn our entire world into some sort of a disaster. And I, as a citizen, stand up to that and go, this is absurd. We can articulate a way outside of the 2 parties because they don't even address GMOs anymore. They don't even talk about the things that are most pressing to the people in America that are really concerned. They don't talk about chemtrails, which happens to be scientific evidence of altering weather patterns, and they're doing it openly. This isn't some major deal. Russia just shot a missile at Odessa. Okay. World War III is definitely moving forward, Sharpton Outrage. Thank you. I don't have any bikini briefs at all, Monsanto. I miss Sarah too. And we'll get Sarah back in the show before the end of our show. I didn't want to take you off on the Barack Obama tangent too long. Notice how I steered it back toward, you know, how we've been lied to and how our environment is in serious disarray. And the Democrats can't solve it. Cap and trade's not going to solve this. Carbon point legislation is not going to solve this. We need to vote third party. We need to innovate and create green, clean technologies, not just give companies money like Solyndra, like Obama did. You can't just throw free money, your tax dollars or whatever they're printing, at any one company and expect it to somehow jumpstart a brand new product line and American jobs. I mean, what were they thinking when they gave all that money to Fisker Motors to build an electric car that gets 100 miles per gallon and they couldn't even get one off the line? And then they took $1.5 billion of the American Recovery and Reinvestment Act, the 700 and some odd billion dollars that was apportioned. Right. I seriously worry for your safety, 525. Yeah, you're making outrageous accusations that are just not founded in truth at all. Okay, go ahead. Why you don't let us use the N-word? Well, we do let you use your N-word with each other, but I don't want to limit conversations to just racial slurs, because I don't do racial slurs. I've never said a racial slur in my life, and I don't think it's appropriate in our chat room. That's why. I don't call people cracker, whitey. I don't walk around going, you monkey, you mayo boy. Exactly. It's just inappropriate. So I'd appreciate it if you wouldn't do that here. Thank you. Although we do support free speech, we just don't like it in our room. Exactly. See, you guys get off on a white guy making fun of a white guy. It's terrible. But anytime anybody says anything outside of their race, it's a huge problem. That's why we need some sort of a racial harmony thing, you know? I'm thinking of interracial rap parties, you know, go, hang out and talk and just share. I don't flip-flop, Harkonnen. You just can't understand anybody who's not an extremist. Your problem is you're so extreme in your views, you don't understand the centrist viewpoint. You don't understand how we could find some positives and some negatives mingling together in one particular compromise. Yeah, the human race is really having a good time. I don't have a very wide mouth. Actually, you have a vision impairment. You're suffering from bifurcatus, where you actually spread the picture out more than you normally should. You may have what is called pop-out eye syndrome. Look it up. You don't like to plant your feet and stick to your gun. I do, and I've already stuck to my guns. I support the Second Amendment. What are you talking about? I've planted my feet. Everyone knows my politics. I don't have a wide mouth. A wide mouth would be like, that would be a wide mouth. I don't have a wide mouth. I have a very demure and prissy mouth. Like this. Is this better? I'm kind of looking like that evil alien Satanist guy on that movie that Mel Gibson made. Right. The Passion. You heard there was some sort of a Satanist guy in that picture. Sick. No, Harkonnen, look it, I'm not a politician. I'm an average guy. I've nothing to do. Look it, I've been as far into politics as you've been. Seriously. Oh, man. Yeah, the Passion of the Christ, exactly. No, you're probably the same guy that says I have a long lip. I mean, seriously. That's ridiculous. Okay, so you ready to get into chat? We'll get into this conversation. We'll open up a Stream Up Chat show. We got 30 minutes to do that. Yeah, but I came here as it looked like you and I had lipstick on the brows? What? What are you talking about, man? I'm not a cross-dresser. You got some serious issues, dude. Oh, my God. Ask your doctor. Ask your doctor to see if you're a cross-dresser. Go in there with your panties on under your shirt and say, Doctor, doctor, doctor. Yeah, I mean, seriously, find out for sure that you are a cross-dresser before you actually get treatment for it. Well, let's be clear. Michelle is clearly a man. You want to see that video tonight of irrefutable proof that Michelle is a man? Does anyone really want to look at that? No, I'm not racist, and I have nothing against cross-dressers like Michelle. I don't. I'm not into transgenders. I don't like fantasize about guys with, you know, seriously. You do? Well, why don't you just come out of the closet and admit you're a transgender fantasizer? Seriously, carry on. I'm trying to get to the bottom of this. Dude looks like a lady. Topper Dan, I don't show videos from you. You're an interloper. I told you that. Yeah, I just feel it's inappropriate to talk about transgenders at this hour, but you brought it up, so, and Rodney did talk about Barack Obama's bisexuality a little bit. It's only fair, since we're in the after show, to bring up a lot of things that a lot of you haven't seen. And I'm glad Rodney told me, because not many people realize that Barack Obama has never been more beautiful than this picture in Bazaar. I think that's one of his best pictures. And many people don't know that that was a Photoshop. So that kind of thing's made up, right? You know that that's altered, that's all Photoshop. But this, however, is not. Take a look at Michelle or Michael Robinson's Adam apple. His Adam's apple. Yeah. Now, this is not the first time anybody mentioned Yeah, I'm just bringing this up so in case you haven't seen it. This is not the only picture that has not been doctored. Another one is quite disturbing, showing what appears to be Michelle Obama learning the internet. There she is. Okay, I know this is very controversial. Not many people have ever seen her actually look at a computer. This was the first time she was exposed, and she was shocked. Yes, or he was, depending on how you look at it. All right, let's get to the real meat of the. I don't mean meat. I don't mean this in the pejorative sense. Let's get to the nitty-gritty. No, that's not right. Let's take a look at this picture. What do you think? Obviously a package there. Looking like some nuts. Terrapin's going, sweet Jesus, why are you doing this again? This has not been doctored. I've actually enlarged it and looked at it under a microscope on my monitor. I actually put the microscope on the monitor and zoomed in at 5 million times magnification. I did not see any archives or halftone images that would resemble a doctored image. Right? I wasn't looking specifically at the crotch area of Michael, but I did try to verify, and it doesn't look like it was doctored. Usually you see some swaying in the remnants of Photoshop would be there. Binary and halftone images would be intermixed, and it didn't appear. However, on Barack Obama's birth certificate, you see an obvious forgery. This, however, this is the real deal. Deal with it. Okay, so what is the end product if we have a transgender for a first lady? Is that a big deal? No, I can't cite the formal link. They're all over the internet. Harkonnen, just do an image search on Google. Thank you. It's common knowledge. I don't think a sanitary napkin looks like that. But Michelle Obama looking at a Macintosh looks like that. I mean, is anyone refuting this? I didn't see a camel toe there. I saw a large gerbil. In fact, it was an obese gerbil. So this is the woman you want to run the country. Now we get to the nitty-gritty here. Look at that. This is your big pick, your big idea. This is the new Democratic leader of the free world. And why, she said, she was asked, why do you think you should be president? She said, because it's my turn. Because it's my turn. He screamed back. Because it's my turn. So she's the big hope and dream of the Democratic Party. She's so sexy in that muumuu. I know. When she's cowering in fear. I know. She's just such a sexy presidential candidate in her 70s, cowering in fear in her 90. I mean, seriously. Oh my gosh! A call from Anonymous again. Hey, you know, every time you call me, it says Anonymous. You're not with Anonymous, are you?
No comment.
Whoa!
I want to play a little game with you here.
Okay.
Are you familiar with the game F, Marry, Kill?
No, I'm not. What is it? What does it involve?
I'm going to give you 3 names, and you have to decide which one you'd like to fuck, which one you'd marry.
Oh my gosh, please, Rodney, I told you to stick to politics, man. God. This guy, he actually debases our show by talking about sex. Can you imagine anyone doing that?
Only you. No.
Well, I don't willfully talk about sex, you know that. It's okay, we're in StreamUp now. Rodney, if you want to join us, you can join the lovely Sarah Hart, myself, in StreamUp. Anybody who wants to go in
You
can.
have to click start broadcasting now.
Oh, I will. Should I show the Larry Sinclair video?
No.
No, we don't need to.
Thank you.
Looks like a fly on sugar. Harkonnen, I told you I did my own investigation with a microscope on the screen. I'm convinced that it's a real picture. And we've got a real problem here. We may have to go get scan chat here. Let's do that. Guest off.
You have to put the thing in.
Oh, we got another call from Anonymous. All right, let's keep it on a civil tone, Rodney, please. Thank you.
Instead of doing Logitech, do change the webcam.
Hello?
Serious political question.
Okay, buddy. What is it, buddy?
Okay, back to what I was saying. The 3 names are Hillary Clinton, Michael Obama, and Nancy Pelosi. You have to have intercourse with one, you have to marry one, you have to kill one. What are your choices?
I can't answer a question that's riddled with all kinds of homicidal ideation. Sorry. What kind of psych ward are you on? I thought you were under treatment. Hang on, I got a call. Go ahead.
Call from
TB4, U.S. President.
add this caller to your
Okay, Rodney, we got Ed on the phone, your arch nemesis. Go ahead, Ed, Rodney.
Oh, for Christ's sake.
I didn't do it.
Ed, you can come into our show and be on our StreamUp show if you want. I'm in StreamUp. Okay. Okay, what's your question, Ed? What's your question, Ed? Go ahead.
I didn't see that picture of that Michelle Buell.
Ed, you need to mute us in the background.
Ed, mute
Turn
us.
off your computer.
Turn off your
or
computer.
something.
Rodney, you can now speak over Ed. He's
You
irrelevant.
need to mute us on the show you're watching.
Ed's irrelevant. Go ahead and talk, Rodney. Okay, anybody can go into our StreamUp show right now. We've got a half an hour left of our show.
No.
If you want to download the Chrome browser, this is perhaps the best way to do this. Ed, turn your audio off, please.
Ed, yeah, seriously. You can hear us on the phone.
All right,
so-
Rodney, could you call me back? Thanks. God, I mean, this
Ed,
Ed.
when you call someone, you need to mute the audio video for the show.
I know, stupid people, I know. Anyway, thanks for your input. I thought that question was really very disturbing and put me ill at ease just talking about it. You know, I don't want to have sex with a world leader like Nancy Pelosi or any other leader. I don't certainly want to hurt anybody. I don't have homicidal ideation like some people obviously do. So, I mean, thank you. For a good time called David? What? You guys are really out there, man. Candy Rain's in the room. Hi, Candy. She's just cooking one of those organic meals for her wonderful husband. Hey, dude, I don't really like drugs. I do want to legalize marijuana, though.
I think that's Ed.
Okay. Okay, that's right. All right, you're on. Thank you. Go ahead. Go ahead, Steve. Is that you, Steve? No, just messing with us. People like Ed can get their back on their horse. Yeah, so if anyone wants to actually go on cam with us, they can do that right now.
Yeah, Ed, why don't you go on StreamUp? At least when you're on StreamUp, then we don't get this huge feedback.
Right.
There you go. Good job.
Ed's on StreamUp. Thank you, Ed.
There you go, Ed. Now
Ed,
you can
thanks for
ask
coming
your
in.
questions.
Okay, Ed. What's your question, Ed? What's your-
It makes him feel awful harping in.
Not Rodney's. It was just sounds like a Star Trek adventure.
I know, doesn't it? Yeah. Okay. I said one. You're on, Rodney. Go
Yes,
ahead.
you can go on camera with David.
Okay, we got. Hang on. Hey, hey,
Thanks.
hey, Vagine, how are you? Hi, David. Oh, no.
Just do your Vagine impersonation.
Do your Vagine impersonation. I want to hear you do Vagine. Hi, David. How are you, David?
Dave, that was never me. I don't know how many times I'm going to tell you that.
Yeah, right, dude. Yeah, sure. He's still holding the line. He just refuses to bid. How come Vagine sent a shampoo from your home city? You explain that one to me.
Well, okay, then what home city did it come from?
I don't want to give out your location, but
Florida.
it came from Florida, the home state of Florida. Yeah. Remember the shampoo that you sent as Vagine? Hi, David. Oh man, you're still denying that you're Vagine.
Like that,
Come
man.
on, you do these voices all the time. Jeez, come clean, man.
What about the, could you do the impersonation of the Somalian or, you know?
You did the East Indian one. That's a good
Well,
one.
I'm not talking about India. I'm talking about Somalia or.
Okay,
Rod is such a class act.
he is a class act. Go ahead, Rodney. What's your question? I love that. Yeah. Have you been to many motels where they've
It's
been
not
run
good
by
for you,
Pakistan
Dan.
people?
Don't ever believe that,
I
Dan.
got to be honest with you. As soon as I walk into a joint like that and I see one of those bastards, I turn right around.
I hear you.
4 or 5 stars unit.
Welcome to our life. We have to go to those places because they're like Motel 6s are owned mostly by foreign nationals, and as well as Super 8s. And we just can't help but realize that most of these people are coming into our country,
Thanks.
getting all this free money to start a business, and we American taxpayers are shouldering their lifestyle, and they build a business, and they charge us for our motels to travel $60 to $150 a night, or in your case, $369.
Had a good day.
Not only that, Dave, but I mean, they get basically ridiculous financing on the come, basically,
Yeah.
on a tax exemption.
Yep.
And basically, it's defrauding the American taxpayer.
I agree.
So it's a lot like Walmart.
It is. In fact, it's basically subsidized illegal immigration, and we're allowing these people. I wonder if we did a tally of all the owners of motels like that, how many of them are really foreign nationals? I really am curious because I would love to have rules that say you can't own businesses in this country for longer than 20 years, like lease plans, if you're a foreign national. I mean,
Let
this
me tell you something.
seriously.
I grew up in the Midwest. There was an area that I grew up. There was outside, about a half hour, 45 minutes away.
Yeah.
A large concentration of basically displaced Iraqi Catholics.
Oh, wow, I get you.
Iraqi
Called
Catholics.
Chaldeans.
Oh, I didn't know that they existed. I've never been an Iraqi Catholic before.
They weren't citizens, and they would basically, be allowed to own and be the proprietor of the business for X amount of time.
Yeah.
On a tax-free basis.
Oh,
They
okay.
pulled some scam and flipped it to one of their cousins. You follow me?
I hear you. Yeah, things are happening. Yeah, I get you. It's
Right.
happening all the time. Fraud in our government, and we have a plan to have forensic auditors look at every aspect of tax fraud. There's a lot of abuse going on. You heard that billions of dollars, 16 billion, went out to dead people last year in taxes, and I guess there's a huge scam by illegal aliens collecting taxes now. That's the big thing.
Dave, here's an impression for you that we must get to work with, right? Which by
Back for 7 years. The loophole is that pass it off to one of their friends that's already here. Well, that's a loophole.
You have a comment?
Make it 7.
Yeah, thank you, Ed. Well, I appreciate that. The loophole
Hello?
you're talking about, the tax loophole, coming from a guy who doesn't pay taxes, I understand.
I have
TB
too
for
many
president.
inputs going on right now.
What's the question, Rodney? Something about transgenderism? I'm sorry, I missed that.
here's the voice of reason, sir. Could you just get Ed out of the show forever? Give you guys cancer.
Well, everybody has a right to talk, I guess. Well, actually, everybody has a right to have their own show. So, do you have your own show? You video?
Everybody has the right to talk if you're smart enough to turn down the volume on their end so they don't echo throughout their entire statement.
Well, he's now not echoing. I have no idea what he said, though.
Yeah, we don't know what you said exactly, Ed, but we don't want you to say it again.
You got 30 seconds to go.
Go for it, Ed.
You have 30 seconds, Ed. Go ahead. Starting now.
I know. I think there's some lag because he didn't understand that.
Even bald people can condition their hair.
Oh, really? Well, they
Absolutely.
can do.
I said,
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Wait.
the tax money is going.
Mr. Slaughter.
Tax.
Another family member that's here, they get 7 years. That's where they don't have to pay none of that money back.
Okay. I
Oh,
don't.
that's what. Wait, if their tax money goes to another family member here for 7 years, they don't pay.
They don't
any
pay
money
taxes
back.
money back. Okay, that's an interesting loophole, Ed. Would you like to work in our forensic auditor department?
It's tax free.
Ed, would you like to get a job as a forensic auditor in my administration?
The loophole is they don't pay taxes, period. As long as there's
I hear you.
one.
I gotta hand it to Ed. That was the first worthwhile thing I've ever heard him say.
Good. Right on.
Good.
Kudos.
Good
Kudos.
job. Ed.
Good job, Ed. Ed, you just got a job opportunity in my administration. That's how smart you are, Ed. We need guys like you. Now you're a smart feller. I hear you. Okay. All right, hang on just a second. Now we're going to listen to Rodney ask an important question. Rodney versus Ed. Here we go. I'm just kidding you, Rodney. Just a joke.
Sorry, we have.
Okay, Ed, we got a little problem with the connection. You're hitting on that cigarette pretty hard in between words, Ed. So we can't tell between each hit of the cigarette whether it's COPD or something you're saying that's actually audibly, or hearable.
Dave,
go
what
ahead.
do you find more offensive, the fact that the taxpayer buys Ed's cigarettes, or the taxpayer helps to treat his COPD?
I find that both of them are extremely offensive. Frankly, they do
Well-
have plans for people who develop terminal lung cancer or emphysema. It's called Let Them Die.
Technically, they don't buy his cigarettes.
Yeah. They just let them die. Basically, you have to triage them. There's no solution for long-term lung cancer or massive emphysema. They can't even work on a person. They'll give them a thallium scan. If they don't pass the thallium scan, they can't give them a quad bypass or anything. So Ed's painting his own picture. Go ahead.
Let me bring you the loop on something. I mean, if you're a man of wealth, like myself, I actually procured myself a match, an organ match in North Korea.
Oh, okay.
So basically, I have a set of lungs waiting for me there whenever I need them.
That's really nice to hear.
Bad shit.
Yeah.
I'm just going to harvest those lungs, have them shipped in.
Isn't there
thrown in the
a
hatch
movie
for
about
me.
that?
Yeah, there is, and some people think there's a lot of corruption in that field of organ
Hey,
donors.
Laura. Lots of government
Hello, Laura.
do the same thing.
I think you're a pretty smart feller, not a fart smeller. You're a smart feller for doing that. I appreciate that. You're doing the right thing for yourself.
Careful.
What? I'm sorry.
You can't be too careful these days.
Right, yeah. Well, that's why I have a whole lot of gerbils that I'm doing some gene splicing on in my garage. So I can somehow
To be
create.
honest with you, Dave,
I can knit the gerbil.
creeps me out.
Gerbils gross you out, really? Okay. Sorry, I mentioned it.
Yeah.
Oh, I was just kidding about the gerbils.
Especially if Sarah's coming to attack your own devices with the proteins, it can get really weird.
Well, you got to eat something, man. It's between gerbils and earthworms. What would you prefer, an earthworm burger or a nice sautéed, marinated so the bones kind of dissolve gerbil burger? Gerbil burger with the fur or worm burger, your choice.
That's all I have.
If you had a choice between
How about
sex with a
Niger?
gerbil or sex with a worm, which would you have the sex with? Which would you want to eat?
This whole conversation just took a weird turn.
Yeah, you're telling me.
Well, Winchell, I got to tell you, this is not as sick as him asking me if I wanted to have sex with Nancy Pelosi, and that was the question he asked me when he started this conversation. So seriously, if I devolve into gerbils and worms, I mean, come on.
No. Michelle Obama, Nancy Pelosi, Hillary Clinton, you have to marry one, you have to have intercourse with one, and you have to kill one.
I just think it's a terrible question. And
I
like
think
I
it's
said,
a terrible question,
gerbil
too.
burger or worm burger, your choice. I mean, come on, dude. Why would you even ask such a question? Is this something you got on the Howard Stern show? Seriously.
Absolutely. It's an entertaining question. It's interesting, Dave.
Interesting. I suppose anything's interesting. I mean, is this the bargain basement of interesting? I guess it is. Okay, well, I'm not going to answer it,
Based
but
on the content of the program, I mean, I'm trying to get you up in that, man.
you're the one that brought me down to gerbil burgers and worm burgers. I didn't go there. You're the one who took this conversation down to the hellhole that it is right now. Anyway, chat with 28 viewers. Thank you.
You're glowing, sweetheart.
Thank you, baby.
Good work.
Thanks for everybody coming in. Hey, this has been a really interesting show. We got 15 minutes to wrap up what really Freedom Friday is all about, and I can't think of a better guy to share this last minute with Rodney, because he's all about freedom, right? Freedom
He's
to...
just coming in to say thanks for watching.
Well, thank you for watching. You get to buy whatever you want because you got enough money in your life. Am I right? Did we lose him?
To a point, yes.
Okay. You got the freedom to buy anything you want to a point, and you feel that that's a part of your idea of capitalism, which we endorse. We support capitalism. We have a hybrid capitalist model, but we certainly support the will of people to do better and improve themselves, which we think you represent almost the icon of that. I think you are the icon of... You are. I mean, seriously, I just want to throw some compliments your way. You're a self-made man, and like many entrepreneurs or whatever you are, we people want to have the freedom to conduct business without the IRS breathing down their back. The IRS is a huge problem in America. I very rarely talk about my flat tax, but I might as well discuss it right now. We believe a flat tax of 10% on money earned over $100,000 is all we want to do in terms of income tax. This is a complete modification of the progressive tax system we have. Congress would have to pass it, but would a guy like you like paying 10% on money over $100,000? Because I know you're paying a lot more than that, right?
Well, not necessarily, Dave. I mean, a good accountant goes a long way. You know what I mean, brother? That's part of the whole discrepancy here with the current tax system, because guys like me tend to be able to get over, so to speak. You know what I mean? If you have your tech stacked properly, you don't really pay in excess that much.
So you got a lot of tax hedges and right. Okay.
Deductions lined up. I mean, they walk away clean.
Oh, there you go. You can walk away paying no taxes at all. He's got a way to do that. He's cheating the system.
Yeah, is the
legally cheating it.
There's a law that just passed. Is that going to affect you about all of the foreign banks having to report any U.S. citizen holding funds in their bank?
I don't really do any offshore banking. Those bastards can't be trusted. It was 20 years ago. I definitely be participating in that, but
right.
Today it's just the risk is too high.
Yeah. Well, that's good. I mean, now it's just you can't hide your money, really.
You need to incorporate, Dave. You need to get your own LLC started.
Yeah, well, we're going to do that in 2016. Basically, what's going to happen, Rodney, let me give you the timeline. You all have a chance to get me on the ballot up until 2016 and through the 2016 year. If I'm not on the ballot in any state, for whatever reason, obviously people just are apathetic or whatever, we're probably going to continue the presidency role for davidsponheim.com, but it'll be disattached from America's Third Party, and America's Third Party will spin off as a lobbying group or some sort of an LLC. I'm just telling you that's what our plans are.
I'm just talking about in your own personal life, Dave. Like, let me throw a little scenario.
Sure, yeah.
You start an LLC, the Sponheim Family LLC, for instance, okay?
Yeah.
You turn your modular home into a rental property.
Yeah.
You now have Sarah sign a lease and make sure that Sarah Hart writes you a check every month as a renter. You follow me?
I understand what you're saying.
That now makes your modular home expenses, improvements, some utilities deductible. You follow me?
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
It's a shell game. You keep that going, brother.
Yeah, I don't believe in doing the shell game. I've seen it done time and time again. We could even borrow against the property and take a reverse mortgage and invest in other property and parlay that and do the same. I mean, there's a lot of scenarios that could spool out. I don't really want to do that. I'm not seeking personal gain. When I made a vow of poverty, I really didn't seek to steal money legally from the government. That wasn't my game.
It's not stealing, Dave. I mean, basically it's preventing them stealing it from you.
I hear you, man. I do. But that's why a flat tax would kind of hit everybody fairly.
Send to Ferguson, Missouri. You know what I mean?
No, he's not nailing me, and I do know it. The fact is, Topper Den, you don't have any idea what kind of risk he just put out there for America's Third Party. I have virtually stayed to the gun all the way to the quarterly reports to the FEC. We've made everything 100% FEC compliant. We don't want to mess with rental properties and LLCs. We really don't. We would only entangle us in a lot of burden right now as we're trying to pass this wonderful entity, America's Third Party. But please just hear me out. I'm not trying to in any way make it a target of potential investigations. We are completely 100% FEC compliant because we want to pass on the virtue of what we've done for the past 6 years onto the American people. If you don't have the gumption to get me on the ballot, if you don't want to take the next step, we will then look at other options. But right now, this is why I answered you the way I did, Rod. Because we don't want to take risks with this entity. You have no idea. As much as we want to make money privately, and everybody wants to make money in some way, we don't want to take a risk and put this in danger right now. So we're keeping it completely on kind of very even keel.
Completely above board, Dave. I mean, the worst thing that can happen is, you know, you get a little audit and then you got to send a little correction check. You know what I mean? They're not going to throw you in the clink.
No, I understand that, and you've been through that road. I've been down that road with other people. I've overseen breakdowns in businesses where the IRS literally locked the doors and put people at the door to monitor funds. I've seen this whole thing in my life play out. So as much as you're belittling it, it actually is a nightmare. When you first heard about your IRS investigation, if indeed you were investigated, what was your response? What was your reaction? Were you upset?
No, I just called the accountant and said, fucking deal with it, man. Let me know what I got to do to make it right.
But didn't you get a little spike in your emotional level? Didn't you walk around pissed off at your loved ones?
Not at all, man. Not at all. It's part of the game.
I seriously don't believe that. I could just imagine what you went through. But anyway.
Hey, we're running out of time here. Moving on, I want to drop a link in the room. Very powerful piece. You guys familiar with a show on HBO called The Newsroom?
Yeah, I've heard about it, yeah. It's boring.
I'm dropping this link in the room. You should definitely play this. It's a powerful piece.
All right, we'll take a look at it.
Daniels dropping knowledge, okay?
All right, take care, man.
And I'll let you guys go.
Yeah.
Love you, Sarah. I miss you.
I miss you.
Dave, take care. Play this video, Dave.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
All right, bye.
I'm going to go ahead and get a camera in here. So we don't have any takers over here who want to join in the conversation. I'm amazed some of you StreamUp-casters haven't joined us over here. You can go into StreamUp if you're already in there, but again, StreamUp is one of those networks that offers 12 different streams simultaneously. All right, so we'll play that in just a bit. Right now I'm going to wrap up what we've been talking about tonight, which supersedes a video about some other show. I don't gamble per se, but I do play slots. I don't consider that gambling, it's playing. When you're spending 10 cents and you lose the house money, it's not exactly gambling. I know I only purge people who have negative things to say about me, Harkonnen. Yeah, exactly. Why is this guy giving the imbecile on the phone a platform for which to spew his sophomoric dribble? Gordon Liddy, thank you for coming in and calling Rodney out. Yeah, thank you. Well, I'll play it in just a bit. Thank you, Rodney. I understand your point, Gordon Liddy. I don't want to have a low level of communication that doesn't touch on some of the more politically disturbing issues facing our country. We've got a lot of problems congealing right now and descending upon the American people. Obviously, the number one concern I have is that our president is some sort of an illegal alien, and it's been my concern for a long, long time. And I know a lot of you are, you're a birther? What? I got to turn this off. No, hear me out for a second. It's very possible that Barack Obama did the ultimate lie and put this over on the American people, and his agenda doesn't seem to be an American agenda. Laura's in. Thank you, Laura. It seems to be a Muslim agenda, the way he's fractured relations with other countries. We've got 7 countries now that are in jeopardy of civil war. Yemen, Tunisia, Egypt, Libya, Iraq, Syria. I mean, this guy's done more to create a problem than any other president we've ever had.
I'm on the thing.
You're on, Laura.
I'm on the thing.
You're on. We're listening to you. Thank you. And we can zoom in on you, too. This amazing tool.
And Yorkshire's on, too.
And Yorkshire's on, yeah. Okay. The thing about our country is we shouldn't meddle in other countries' affairs. We shouldn't meddle in other countries' affairs, and our country's been meddling in other. We're not sure yet. We're not going to get anywhere, make any headway by meddling in other countries' affairs. If we solve the problems long term, that'll be a different story. If we solve the imbalance of powers long term, where we have a pretty fixed situation where populated areas are protected and provided with automated security, which doesn't require boots in the ground, we definitely will be able to handle future crises in Iraq and other areas like Afghanistan. We've talked about that. It's on our website. It's called Weapons-Free Safe Zones. It's a very simple concept that I can sell to the military. I'm going to have a hard time selling it to the boots in the ground guys, but weapons automation is clearly the future, and I embrace robotics. I think we can move in that direction. I do advocate airstrikes only when we need to, and when it's feasible to not kill innocent people. I don't want to endanger collateral damage and create deaths to innocent people like we've seen under Barack Obama and George Bush. Big turnaround. Thank you, Rodney. So just to wrap things up, I don't want to turn this show into a mindless discussion of our anger. We've had enough of that in our life. We could talk about how angry we are at the mistakes Obama's making, but we have to blame ourselves for not convincing our friends and family members and even our enemies that maybe they chose the wrong guy. We need to somehow convert the American people's mindset from a extremely frightened, xenophobic, politically correct mindset to an open, free speech environment where we can communicate on all ideas without calling each other names. That would be helpful. So if we could create an environment for communication and open, free press and open politics, I think our country will be able to pull out of the situation it is. But right now, we're almost getting brain freeze from too much propaganda, too much control of our media by not only financial magnates and huge wealthy people controlling everything we see on the mainstream media, but also foreign agents controlling our politics, buying our officials, taking them out. With money your tax dollars paid, like we give Pakistan 1.3 to 1.5 billion a year. They take 100 million and have a lobbyist schmooze our politicians to get more money for Pakistan. Good night, Mad Dog. I'm going to let Sarah take another 2 minutes to talk. Go ahead, Sarah.
I do have a link that pretty much sums up how I think about the group Anonymous.
Sarah did a great poem about Anonymous, and it really typifies what we are all about. We're right out in the open. We don't have any concern about our safety because we're proud and courageous Americans, and we're willing to deal with whatever comes our way to promote this idea of honesty and openness. And I've never, ever hidden from anyone secret plans or any secret society links. Everything's out in the open. What you see is what you get with us. So that really is a great poem she wrote. Thank you. All right, so this is the deal. Thanks a lot, Candy Rain, for coming in and hanging with us. It's been fun. We will talk tomorrow night because our anti-war rally goes on, but you guys want to party, I know, on Saturday night. We party too. Thanks for coming in over at Battle Camp. A lot of you may have preconceptions of me, but believe me, I'm not a racist, and I have no intention to be angry or disrespectful or partial to any one group. I want to openly discuss racial communication and relations with everybody on all levels. I'm an integrationist. I'm almost a blatant integrationist, which makes me, I guess, the messenger. So I commonly see people shoot the messenger whenever they come out with great ideas. And we believe that an equal rights amendment, another one, is necessary for everybody to get on the same playing field. Equal pay for men and women in the job place, and make sure that people are not judged based on the color of their skin. I should have gotten scholarship money. I should have gotten into Ivy League schools, but because I wasn't black, I didn't get in. And many people who are being racially profiled in inner cities right now as African Americans are living a life of hell. And we know that. And we want to stop the police brutality like the kind that's going on in Ferguson. All right, here comes the video that Rodney sent. Sarah, if you want to
have a great night, and we'll be back tomorrow.
Thank you. Take care, everybody. See you tomorrow night.
Yeah, I think you're right, Real PR. Wish you luck in getting rid of them.
Thank you very much for coming in, showing some support, DT Laura, and you too, Yorkshire, over at StreamUp.
Move on to the next question.
Hi, my name is Jenny. I'm a sophomore, and this is for all three of you. Can you say in one sentence or less what, you know what I mean? Can you say why America is the greatest country in the world?
Diversity and opportunity.
All right.
Freedom and freedom. So let's keep it that way.
Take care. Good night, DT Laura. And thanks for coming in, viewers, over at StreamUp. We're on every night, 6 to 9 Pacific time.
No.
Channel
I'm
Zier.
going to hold you to an answer on that.
Thanks for coming in.
What makes
Right on.
America the greatest country in the world?
Well, Minister Sharon said it, diversity and opportunity and freedom and freedom.
I'm not letting you go back to the airport without answering the question.